Sorry, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, my brothers and sisters, welcome back. Welcome back to Somali Speakers. And yeah, man, you see what the title is, I'm sure. Anyway, Fadlin, let me start again because it's going to be a bit of a, it's a bit of, it's going to be a bit of a tough one. So bear with me, man. On I think it was Friday the 14th. When was it? I think it was a couple of days ago, and we all seen the recent event that happened in London, unfortunately. And I just wanted to speak about it and make more sense of it. And like everyone else, I was shocked when you first hear like it's a 25-year-old Somali Baba that actually committed this heinous act. And yeah, and I just want to speak about, obviously Somali speakers, have your say. Anyone that wants to jump in, the links in the chat as well. So have your say as well. But the meeting, he made it is والله فضلا هذه ما تقوري so والله please share, like and subscribe نقول رفضة قاعد بين المترجمين ما توحد دون تحالة قالنا أرنتي ما أنت دور داعي أو لوجاس دلكي فوش حمد والله أو David Ames MP and sababta ayo waxa lagu dilay. I'm just like you guys, I'm unaware myself. I was just literally coming back and first thing I heard when I looked on the news in the Somali about what Hansamay, Sinsamay, Ankansamay, and hopefully we've got more videos that articulate better than I can right about now because as you can see it was kind of it's kind of a shock factor moment. And the more you look into the story, the more I've been trying to look into the story, the more I've been trying to see what's happened and kind of analyze it, take it for myself, and speaking to brothers and sisters in the community as well, and numerous platforms, and we're all feeling the same way. We're all like, why? I think that's the main question, and how does a young 25-year-old male decide to do this? Like, I'm unaware myself, so I'm trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together and got a couple of videos that I wanted to play. First things first, I want to play a video. I think this video kind of spoke very, very well. And big up my brother Mubs Mubarak. If you don't know Mubarak, legendary brother from Hard Talk TV. I'm gonna put the link in the comment section and probably the link in the chat as well. So he kind of breaks it down. He kind of says what he kind of says, but I wanted to, if you guys ain't aware of it, this is the latest that I've seen. So we can actually have a look and see for ourselves what's going on. So just bear with me. Yes, Sister Hawaii, yes, welcome back. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. That's what I personally think. Hawaii, you know how it is. I think it is that. It could be numerous factors as well. Wallah. Nice to see Hope, the families well, legendary SS speaker in the building. I don't know, Wallah. That's what's coming up. And we're gonna try to look at what that word means, how it's affecting young Somalis and Somalis across the world. Because I don't think this is the first one that actually I don't know. It's kind of a shock. Like I said, I'm still shocked, and I think half the community is still shocked. So let's just see what kind of unplaced, and then we can take it on from there, and then we can sort of analyze it, break it down. Then I want to get into the video that my brother put out there as well. So, and then we're going to look at other couple of things, and hopefully some of the brothers and sisters on the panelists can come up. And yeah, good to see you, sis. Good to see you. Good to see you as usual, sis.
Hello, good morning to you. Just after 6 o'clock, it is Sunday, October the 17th. Our main story: the man arrested by police following the killing of the Essex MP Sir David Amess has been named as Ali Harbi Ali.
The 25-year-old is being held under the Terrorism Act, and officers have until Friday to question him.
Last night, a candlelit vigil was held in tribute to Sir David, who was stabbed multiple times during a constituency surgery on Friday. Francis Reid has this report.
Lighting candles so he will be remembered. Hundreds gathered to pay their respects to David Amess. All faiths, young and older. Not everyone may have agreed with his politics, but in this community, they respected and loved him.
He touched everybody's lives, and I don't know anybody that had that kind of reach. Truly dedicated soul.
He was a genuine, caring and compassionate man, and it is absolutely tragic what's happened to him, and our hearts go out to his loved ones.
I feel so sad that I don't know where we go from here. As a nation, I don't know where we go from here. I really feel sad.
In the light of day, this now formally declared a terrorist incident, with early inquiries suggesting a motive linked to Islamist extremism. Whitehall officials confirmed the suspect is Ali Harbi Ali, a British national of Somali heritage who's being held at a London police station under the Terrorism Act. He was referred to the government's Prevent scheme a few years ago, the programme designed to stop people being radicalised, but he's not thought to have been considered a subject of interest by MI5. Now, urgent calls to keep MPs safe this weekend already changes, such as in South Wales, with a police guard for an MP's coffee morning. Some say this needs to be the norm.
There has not been, to my knowledge, a discreet police presence at most of those events. And I realise that is an issue that will increase levels of resource for the police, but surely it is something which ought to be on the table now.
Security had been reviewed after the MP Joe Cox was killed by a white supremacist 5 years ago. Now MPs across the country have been contacted about their safety, so they know what protection's available to them.
Policing stands ready to do what we need to do and what we can do to provide the right level of security for our elected representatives all around the country, and obviously when they are at the Palace of Westminster.
But for now, this small seaside town stands together, united by a tragedy that has deeper questions for the safety of those trying to uphold democracy. Francis Reid, BBC News.
Well, let's talk now to our reporter, Greg Mackenzie, who joins us from Leigh-on-Sea. And Greg, good morning to you. Bring us up to date with the investigation.
Well, good morning. Yes, in terms of the investigation, 25-year-old Ali Harbi Ali has been named as the suspect. He's been further arrested on suspicion of terrorism. Now, this all happened last night, late last night. The suspect, 25-year-old British national of Somali heritage, has now been moved from a police station here in Essex to a police station in central London. Now, we know a number of properties are already being searched in the capital, and the father of the suspect has today given an interview to the Sunday Times newspaper. The father is a former advisor to the Prime Minister of Somalia, and he said the family are traumatized at learning about their son's arrest.
Thank you, Greg.
Let's speak to our political correspondent, Peter Sol. Now, Peter, the Speaker of the House of Commons has been talking about MP safety in a number of the papers this morning. Can you just explain to us what exactly he's saying?
That's right, Seema. Articles published in both The Observer and The Mail on Sunday this morning. The Speaker reflecting on his own constituency surgery, which took place just hours after the death of Sir David Amess. He says he had a flood of people coming in, talking from issues ranging from cowboy builders to mental health issues. And he concludes that MPs making themselves accessible to the people that put them into their jobs is a cornerstone of our democracy. And it's a firm no, according to him, to the idea of ending constituency surgeries for now. But he says he's working at pace with the Home Office and various other authorities to improve security arrangements for MPs. You heard in that piece just then that security arrangements were reviewed following the murder of Joe Cox, but there seems to be a consensus that that didn't go far enough, and it really does vary up and down the country. The other thing Sir Lindsay Hall talks a lot about too is the toxicity of a debate in our politics. He calls for a much kinder, gentler approach to politics, and one based on respect. And that spirit of unity, actually, that we've seen among our politicians in recent days, with Sir Keir Starmer and Boris Johnson going together to the scene of the attack in Leigh-on-Sea yesterday, continues this morning, with both Labour and the Liberal Democrats indicating that they will not stand candidates against the Conservative in the South End West by-election, which will now have to take place.
Thanks for that. We'll have tributes to Sir David Amess from friends, colleagues and constituents throughout the show this morning.
Train services on the rail network that
Yeah, so hopefully that was more insight into what took place, how it took place, the name of the in car, I think in Ali what's his name? Ali Harbi Ali, I think that's what in car. Couple of things kind of alarmed me. Like when I heard this story, I was thinking to myself, at first I was kind of like, I think like everyone else in the community, I was kind of like shocked and taken back. But what kind of stood out for me was already like these labels that they've labeled in a car. Is it like that? And for my approach, sometimes you gotta look at things from every type of angle. And the conversations I've been having, listening, learning, been having a couple of heated debates with a couple of people, brothers and sisters, and I'm trying to. For me, it's more of looking at it from a prevention type of angle and being honest. Let's just have this honest, open dialogue. What drives young individuals or young males in our Somali community to commit this heinous act? That's my personal angle. I don't know about you other brothers and sisters, how you guys can see it, and what ripple effects does it have? That's the type of effects that I wanted to look at, and yeah, you like the everyone's saying Somali heritage. I don't know, Return of the King. He said time got you kind of mad. I don't know. I don't think you should be getting mad because it is what it is. In Somali or in Kenya or in Kina, at the end. And again, I'm not trying to be one of. It's not going to be one of them streams where I'm going to be apologetically blaming all of us in every individuals and every other. That would be nonsense. That would be nonsense. Very wouldn't be normal. You get what I'm sorry to get my words out, but there is an underestimating problem, and some of the other videos that I'm going to play to you later on is going to show you this. And I think if we do have these honest conversation, I think it is about time that we started talking about prevention and talking about radicalization in the Somali community. I did say it, our word, radicalization, because at the end of the day, I don't think any normal person will wake up out of the house to go particularly target an individual that we're all still like, I don't know, I think the whole community is taken back. Is like, how did these two individuals end up crossing paths and what got the brother out there to actually commit this crime? That's the type of angles that I wanted to look at. So it's the other video that I wanted to play, and I think I wanted to look at. Yep, I'll put the link in the chat as well. So the link for the brother Mubarak's video is right here. It's in the chat. It's going to be in the comment section. He kind of dropped it in his way, so hopefully you guys can have a look at this as well.
Your boy Hard Talk TV. Just a quick catch up. I know you guys have been watching the news recently regarding Conservative MP Sir David, who passed away. obviously, condolences to his family. Apparently, he got killed by a male, 25 years old, by the name of Ali, coming from the Somali community. And I'm not going to lie, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, mate, not another madness going off. And reading it, I was thinking, I hope it's not a Somali person. But you know what? It happens to be a Somali person. You know what I mean? Just happened to be a Somali person. There just happens to be people with mental health issues. I don't know what his background is, but things happen in the world. People got issues. But what really got to me was reading the newspaper. First thing they put down, young Somali man killed a Conservative MP. And I think that's bang out of order. Like, when Somali people do honourable things in this community, they will never put Somali on it. They will put British, label British on it. Young man was born here, I believe, British citizen, homebred, terrorist, if you want to call it, because from what I can see, that's what they pulled it as, extremist, terrorist. But honestly, condolences to the man's family who passed away. For someone to be killed outside the church or things like that, I don't condone that. I don't condone any killing, but for you to be killing someone in a holy place is disrespectful. So yeah. I just wanted to echo what's been going on. Obviously, the Somali community, we've been getting a lot of slack in the media from when I was growing up as a kid. So I just don't want to see young kids in school now just getting told, oh, this is what's happening. What's happening with the Somali community, this and that and that. So I was down the shop around the corner from mine, and like an Asian shopkeeper, and he's like, yes, brother, watch out, you know, I watch the news. I'm like, mate, what do you mean watch out? Like, how many things come up about people being pedophiles and grooming young kids from the Asian community? Do I tell you, man, to watch out? So what, one police officer got killed or one conservative MP got killed, you're telling me to watch out? Come on, let's get things right. You know, if you're doing it for the sake of God, then you're like, you know what, just be careful. But I don't think he was doing it for that. He's just trying to be cheeky. Do you know, like that? Like, I clocked it. I clocked what it was. But yeah, there's been a lot of Somali people who have brand like success, and I'm really proud of, like Mo Farah, for example. He went to Brazil, he went to UK. That the Olympics 2012, that track, you lot would not have partied if it weren't for Mo Farah, bro. There was nothing else going on there. Apart from the girl that was doing all the other sports, no one else done nothing on the track. You get me? That big stadium that got built. So let's be real, let's be honest with each other. You know what I mean? Like, likes of Ragay Omar, Young Chunks on TV, look what he's doing for the community. Big up. So yeah, man, that's what I wanted to say. Like, stop trying to hot us up like that. You know, like that. It don't work like that. Oh yeah, and I read something about Boris Johnson, like his missus, his wife. She's banged that Somali girl. I don't know what's her name. I think her name is Nimmo. She's been sleeping in 10 Downing Street during lockdown. Somaliland girl, yeah? They're not going around saying, oh, Somali girl sleeping in 10 Downing Street during lockdown. Boris has broke their lockdown rules. Nah, they put her name on there, yeah? They could have clearly put that young man's name on there, yeah? We don't condone that. No one from the community condones that. Bang out of order. Obviously, there's extremists or some madman's harvested in the community, but what can we do about that? You understand? One other point. While I was reading the article, the first thing was, I hope he's not Somali. And the second thing is, they watched them say, he's known to the terrorism or extremism team. Every single radical madman is known to them. It's like they got their number. Like, they're quick to tap drug dealers' phones and whatnot, but they can't tap these terrorists and pedophiles. Come on, mate. Huh? They know these people, yeah, and they're not doing nothing about it. And we are the ones that have to face it, yeah? The people that go to work every day, trying to make a living, paying their tax, going about their day, but got Somali written on them. Every single newspaper, like, you wake up in the morning thinking, nah, that's bang out of order, man. You know? Let's just all be strong. Everyone's been through the pandemic. You get me? I don't like this, what they're doing to us. Scapegoating the Somali community. It's not happening. Bang out of order. And you know what? Everyone knows the Somali. Proper people. You know what I'm saying? Everyone that meets me, they're like, yeah, you know what? Somali people, they got good hearts, you know. Don't try to take advantage of us because we're not in these media press or whatever to release, or we're like very underrepresented when it comes to like MPs, any position, but we're stepping up. We're getting there. We've got people coming up in the community. You understand? So yeah, that was my message anyway, guys, man. I hope you guys have a good weekend. You understand? Enjoy your Sunday. Bless.
Sorry, guys. Always forget the mute button. Yeah, this is brother Mardik Hard Talk TV. Please, please, please go subscribe to the brother if you really want that realness, real talk. They're hard talk. That's what I'm saying. We need to, but we do. What did my brother say? King of Hammers. That's what I'm saying. Just like he said, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm really talking about. You get me? And I wanted to Reem's comment here was it's kind of mad as well. True. I hear that. The guy that did the madness. I like the way the brother did that video, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Big up. You get me? Come on, he's right there in the chat. He said as soon as he's gonna come join us, you get me? Let's speak about the movement. Yes. We're going to speak about that, but I want to speak about exactly when my brothers all come in. Come on. Again, you brothers and sisters, this is Hard Talk TV. He's dropping content hot. You get me? Just like the video you see, his link's in there. His link's going to be in the comment section as well later on. So anytime that you need him, his link's going to be in the comment section. King Ahmed, my brother, bless up for that. Bless up. Yes, family, talk to me. My brother, Bashir. Assalamu alaikum. Bash.
Salam. Can you hear me?
Okay, speak up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, Bash. How are you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfectly.
Oh, I'm good. All right. Oh, maybe is there a lag because I like.
No, you're perfect. I can hear you. But have you got a little volume? A little bit up.
Oh, okay. Because
you're perfect. I can hear you perfectly. I don't think you're lagging.
Now?
No, you're not lagging. Perfect.
Okay, good.
Yes. What do you think? Let's get into it, Bash, man. Yo.
What do I think? Oh, I think it's probably radicalization, because when you look into the crime, what the kid did, he stabbed him 17 times, bro. 17 times.
Mm-hmm.
The level of violence, it had to be radicalization. I don't think you can, if it was mental, health or mental illness, okay, you can explain it, him stabbing once or twice, but for him to do it, there has to be an ideological hatred behind it. 17 times for you to kill a person like that, and then when the ambulance services arrived at the scene, and they said and he was arrested. I read in the articles they were saying like he was dead behind the eyes, like he didn't care anymore. Like he waited for the police to arrive. He called his mom, he said, "Mama, I'm going to Jannah," Then he waited for the police to arrive, and they arrested him. And the reason, there was a debate about this in the early days. The reason why they declared it immediately a terrorist act is because when they were arresting him, he was, screaming radical, sentiments. Basically Allahu Akbar. He's going to kill the Kafir, things like that. So that's why they immediately declared it a terrorist act, and also because they immediately raided his homes and they found extremist materials on his phone as well. So that's why they immediately declared a terrorist act, and that's why we thought first they declared a terrorist act because he was a Muslim. We didn't know this was whether this was ideologically motivated or just or whether he was mentally ill. But because of those two things, because him waiting for the police, him shouting Islamic radical nonsense when he was arrested, and because they found ISIS and other radical terrorist organization materials on his phone, that's why they immediately declared it a terrorist act.
Ash, what makes this
Yeah, so
this is the thing.
so
This
that
is the thing
basically
that doesn't make.
summarized it.
See, Miss Hirsi, I love her. She come back. Salam alaikum. My family in the building. She Miss Hirsi is more linear towards the mental health section. I'm kind of. I feel like the mental health thing sometimes it's an easy scapegoat, sis and brothers and sisters. I'm more declined to where Brother Bashir's coming from, and I really want to speak about this because I feel like our community is not addressing something, and whether Bashir they're scared, whether it's me, I'm not scared to put out my face or speak about these. I've been doing it for 17 months with El Kebab. But let's speak about these homegrown ones that have this ideology because I'm thinking to myself, reality. Yeah, no matter what, in an yaro English ko kuda shay, Bashiro got in kuda shay, Shani Labatin shit. We know he comes from an affluent family, Runtawan accent. If you do the research, so it's nothing to do with poor upbringing, it's nothing to do with Sidon, I'm here in private school, but in a killer private school, let's get that out there. Where can because I'm baffed because when I heard about it, I'm thinking, how would a 25-year-old wake up out of his bed from Croydon, jump on a train, go a mission to the other side, like near the sea, for this particular guy? Why? What is in your head? Like, what's the mentality and this radicalization? Why is some of our Somali young males and sisters falling into this trap? Because we got Jones, from Sweden taking it up. We got Jones from London, Canada. Yeah, I know where they're going, but what is happening to our community? What is it?
So, when I've been reading a lot about this, murder, this terrorist act over the last couple of days, and the press, I believe the Mail and all those other press, they went to his neighbors and they interviewed him. A lot of his neighbors, said he was a nice kid. The family is really nice. They help around the area. They help the other people there. He used to help this old guy that he was living next to do his grocery. He would get his grocery for him. They said he worked, he worked for the NHS. So that's what his neighbor said. And they, what they were basically saying is, what the police might think right now happened is because of COVID, because of the lockdown, and him spending a lot of time indoors, he was spending a lot of time with the, radical materials on the internet. And that's how he became radicalized to the extent that he would literally commit a terrorist act and kill a person. So that's what they basically are fear. So it's not as much as say him going to a mosque, and getting indoctrinated or hanging around the wrong people, but basically, him having access to the internet and to these radical, materials on the internet, which inspired him.
I know. So
I think,
anyone, the article, I think I sent it there. Anyone that needs to read the article, click that link. The article's there. I'll put it up for us later on if you guys want to actually have the link. That explains more to Inna Harbi. But Bashir, I hope to Wallah Shoaib. What's going on? Salam alaikum, my brother. You there? Hello? Hello? Yeah, you get me? I don't know what's going on with the brother. But anyway, let's get back to on track. For me, okay, radicalization, online radicalization to young brothers and sisters. I'm trying to struggle with it, Bashir. I don't know because I can't imagine myself in that world. So I'm trying to fathom how, like, what is happening to these young brothers. Like for me, again, it's like it's easy to, I don't know what, someone just sitting online and just believe I don't know, where's this ideology coming from? What are they reading? Who's pumping this into our kids? And what that for me, I don't know, man. Like for me, I'm trying to see. I don't know the mental health card. I don't think this was a mental health issue. I think this was an issue where a young man committed a heinous act of crime, and for me, it's to say mental health is easy. I don't want to look at that. For me, I've thrown that in the corner over there because all of this mental health. The kid was alone. He was sick here. There's something. No, there's an issue. Like these kids are reading something. They're getting pumped something in their heads. and they happen to follow an ideology. It's
How
way
it can only
over.
be it can only
Go ahead,
be
Wallah.
like it can only be mental health, man, because that's not normal to just go out there and stab someone. That is not a normal thing to do. It's not something you do every day. It's not something that your father did, your brother did. You know what I mean? It can only be abnormal. It's abnormal. So that's why mental health is the only answer as to why he done it.
But
Obviously, there's the fact that it could be influenced by like ISIS, like what ISIS believes. Do you know what I mean? Like, but to actually do that action is like not normal, innit? Just to stab someone, like to randomly do it. It's not like something. It's not like he was in a gang, or he's been reported to be a gang member or something like that. You know what I mean? He went to a private school apparently, so he's not about that. Like he doesn't have that background, so there's no reason as to why he's done that. It can only be like mental. There's something that has, like, I can't explain it, man.
Don't you think you're basically minimizing what happened, by excusing it as mental health, because a lot of people, a lot of the terrorists are not mentally ill. They're very sane people, but they are motivated by ideology. They believe if I kill these people, I will go to Jannah. So they believe, that they, taking a life and them giving up their life for the greater purpose, is something worth doing. So you can't say it's basically mental health, right? And the kid, he was not,
okay. Is it normal?
It's not normal, but being a terrorist is not normal.
Would you do that? Do you know anyone that would do
brother
that?
Ahmed, Iwaran.
Alaikum salam.
Do you know anyone that would do that type of thing? Like, can you think of anyone that would that's what I'm trying to say. It's not normal.
Shaib, it's not mental health, Sahib. It can't be mental health, bro. 110%.
No, it can't.
Well, he went to a private school, man. It's not like he was in Iraq, in Syria. He was in a war country. He's in the UK, bro. In a private school.
Fair enough. He could go private school, millionaire. Mental health, if you target any random person, wow, that's mental health. Like, for you to target specifically someone who's part of the parliament, come on, bro. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's like mental health. We'll take a measure. We'll touch away. So he planned it.
I'm not saying mentally health, like to the point where he's disabled. I'm saying mentally health into the point where just like just that he dared to do it. It's not normal.
Okay,
that's what
so
I'm
you're
trying to
saying
tell you.
It's a factor.
From his background, from his sociological, like from where he's from, his background, that is not. How many people in the UK done what he done, basically? That went to a private school. He's probably the only one.
Brother, you do know that a lot of the ISIS leadership were former engineers and doctors
of course.
who were very
From
intelligent.
Europe, Europe. Yeah.
No, that's sorry.
So this was very calculated.
I disagree with that. I disagree with what we just said earlier. So,
they speak perfect English, fam. They speak perfect English.
Let's just keep it to this guy, innit? But
we're gonna keep it to this guy. But we're gonna look. Like Kilo said, our community hype people like this. It's a taboo. Then they hype like, come on, bro.
No, that Wallen Witcher, bro.
No, not that Wallen. No, bro. La dot Wallen. You don't want to say it. Just say it. There's not people that
Al
kebab mentality heister in our midst and our community, and they're getting worse and worse and worse, bro. And when mental health, come on, because there's ripple effects, ripple effects at the end of the day. So I'm trying to tell you, brothers, let's speak about the issue that the brother did. And again, it's like everyone's ripping on to be okay. You're dismissing mental health. Like, I agree with Shaib. You're dismissing mental health. No, bro, I'm not dismissing. I'm just saying we tend to play that card so quickly. No,
let's not excuse the guy, fam.
I'm not excusing him. I just don't want to normalize that behavior. That behavior is not normal. That is a sick
he's well-educated guy, fam. You just said well-educated guy, bro.
When you try to say, it's not mental health, it's not like it's not. That's not normal, bro. Like, come on.
I'll tell you why it's not mental health. Okay, this was very calculated. All right, he traveled 50 miles by train to murder the MP. he stabbed him 17 times, you know, and he silently and
that's what
patiently
makes it
waited.
not normal.
No, but he patiently waited for the police to
Just
come and arrive
just
because
stabbed a random person.
but it's not random. It's calculated.
It's not random.
bro.
It's not
I feel like
random, bro.
what I'm trying to say is he could have gone any MP. It wasn't just like, oh, let me just go.
He chose him. 50
He
miles.
chose him
Hear me, brother.
specifically, yeah.
50 miles. Why did he not choose another
It was
MP close to
ideological,
him?
wasn't it?
Yes.
That's not mental health.
No, I'm trying to say, like, he was targeting MPs, bro. He wasn't just targeting that person.
He targeted this one specifically. Why did he not choose an MP close to his house? Or in this area? Why did he
was
travel
like,
to
corner
his
shop.
Catholic
corner shop.
He's not the only Catholic in the world, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. He would have killed anyone.
What does that mean, though, Shaib? What do you mean, bruv? Don't you believe someone has a cold, calculated thing that they want to do, and they're warped, and he picked this person?
Yes.
You don't believe
That's
that?
not normal,
You're
though.
trying to do it. Random
That's not-
attacks is no. Do you know what a random attack in my eyes is? Nimbi Disakate went on the roads and he shanked 4 or 5 people 5 times. Then I can say, yeah, that to me that's more
That's
mental health.
a
Yeah,
yes.
that's the Leighton. Remember who remembers the guy in Leighton? Yeah, there's a guy in Leighton, yeah, on the train. Guess what happened? They laid with it terrorism, and when they found out, a year before, the family actually tried to get this brother sanctioned. They told government get in a canoe and Sonia the
we couldn't get
straight away.
yeah.
They for the police and all of that, the authorities, they brushed it aside. They said, no, this guy in Leighton ended up stabbing people on the train. When they found out it's mental health, that's when they changed it from terrorism to mental health. They said, okay, it was our faults. We have to take this one aside. This one, come on, man. The guy was okay. You explain to me, Shoaib, as well. He was on a watch list. Explain the watch list to me.
But everyone's on watch list, man. Come on, man. Everyone's going to be on watch list if you're a Muslim. And you go and watch certain sites, certain Islamic sites, because they said he was watching this Islamic sensitive content.
Listen.
That's what puts you on the watch list.
Listen, through his journey, to get to wherever he was getting to, he passed on and died. So if it was mental health, why did that spaz out there and then? If it triggered him,
holiday fans, you're not understanding what I'm trying to tell you. But when I say mental health here, you're just understanding it in a limited scope.
What is mental health to you? No. What is mental
health?
In
a limited scope.
Break it down to me.
Mental health.
So you're saying well calculated, or someone or target someone. That's not mental health to you.
No, listen. Let me tell you. Okay, hear me out. I'm 100% sure. Yeah, just before he stabbed that person in it, the MP, that guy in it, that Ali. Was not the same Ali like a year ago. Or it's the same. He was not the same person. Like before. You know what I'm trying to say? Like something happened. Ideological. Something, and then all of a sudden clicked in his head. That's in my head.
That's not mental health.
Normal. Listen. Today, any one of you would you go out and stab an MP? Do you think it's normal? Something normal to do? Would your friends do it? Do you know anyone that would do that?
No. It depends. There's two, my brothers. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's out of the normal.
No, you're not listening to me. No, it's not. It's ideology. Right now,
yes,
I do and plan great city. Yes, of course, bro. And you say, of course, furthermore, bro, that's not mental health. You went out your way to do whatever you wanted to do. It don't mean you're tapped. It don't mean you're violent. It means it was your own little way. Come on, bro, that's not mental health.
Well, you didn't hear what I said to you just now. I said to you, mental health could be you've seen it in a limited scope. I'm saying like he thought about it, he calculated it, this, and he done it. That is not normal in itself. Like who do you know that would do that? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That is not normal by itself. He could think about. He could have spoke about. He could have planned it. He could have done. He could have done. He could have been like, you know what I mean? He could have done everything. But how many people do you know that would do that? That's what I'm trying to say. That behavior in itself, what he done is not normal, and that's why I'm saying it's mental health.
So if that's the case,
they do.
You're trying to say I'm.
Guys. Yeah, let's watch this. This is when you can see him walking. Watch this.
To a London railway station on the morning of the attack. For more, I'm joined now by our crime correspondent, Martin Brunt, who's in Croydon for us. Martin, what can you tell us about this CCTV footage?
Police are examining it as we speak. They had it since Saturday morning, but it's the first moving footage of the suspect, Ali Harbi Ali, and it's film that captures him on Friday morning near where he was staying in North London. It's time-stamped at 08:44, so at about 8:45 on Friday morning. He's alone, he's wearing dark clothing, black trousers, and a green Parker-style type coat. He's walking, well, almost strolling along, doesn't appear to be in a hurry.
That ain't mental health, man. A man like that, a mental health guy don't walk like that,
outside
man.
a supermarket, and
Come
police
on.
believe.
Bruv, that's not mental health, bro.
He's comfy. Yeah, he's comfy. He's comfy.
Come on, bruv. That's not, bruv. Do you know where he is? That's Camden. He's 9 o'clock in the morning. He's left Camden. Then he's went to go. Come on, you know the time. You know what it is.
But I need to come
Guys,
up
well,
with another term
you
because
know.
mental health is not the one I can't because you guys
Brother,
understanding
stop
of
trying to
mental health
excuse
is
the guy,
different from
fam.
what I'm understanding from mental
I'll
health.
say this,
Brother,
you know.
stop
I'll say
trying to
this, you know.
excuse the
I'll
guy,
say
bro.
this, you know, guys.
What
I'll
has
say
normal
this.
man there? Bro. That's what I'm telling
No,
you. What has
we get
normal
it,
man?
but I'll say this, you know.
Yeah, it's shocking. Yeah, you're right.
No,
It's
but
what
you
do
know,
you mean
they're
it's
doing a
shocking?
back.
He went to a
Hold
private
on,
school.
man, hold on. You know, I'll
Private
say
school
this. You know.
Kiwi, bro. In the
Hold on,
UK,
It don't matter where he went.
1 second, man. Let me say this, yeah. They're doing a background check on him to establish a potential link to jihadist group, but they're also doing a background check to examine whether he has a psychiatric history. So we'll know very soon whether there is a mental health link to this crime. So I'll just say that.
Even if it's ideological, yeah. There's a lot of people that like heard ISIS things, that have seen ISIS things, but then no one has the heart to do it. Like no one has the heart to go actually. Like they might believe in ISIS belief, they share the same beliefs. They're
Oh,
like,
this guy
yeah,
just
kill
did.
all the Kafirs,
This guy
kill
just
all
did.
the Kafirs.
This guy just did.
But this guy had the
I don't-
balls to do it. This guy had the
It don't
balls
matter.
to do it.
I
You know,
want.
he
I said,
thought
hold
about it.
on.
He calculated it.
Listen.
That's not normal,
So,
bro.
wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me ISIS, yeah, Al-Shabaab, of course, so they all got mental health then. You're all little well.
No,
So you're
I'm
trying
not
to
saying
tell
what happened on mental health fight. I'm saying
It's
I'm not saying what
ideology,
happened on
bro.
mental health fight. I'm saying someone that was just in the UK in a private school.
Bruv, the kid got brain warped in it. You just, I
He
don't know
could have
why you
got
can't realize
brainwashed.
it.
But I'm saying he had the balls to do it, bro.
So, الشكل حليب they got the
And he
balls
just
to
stood there
it. It don't
afterwards
matter,
like,
bro.
oh, Channa Tage. Are you fucking high, bro? Channa Tage. That's not normal.
Yeah, you're right. It's not normal.
You
Like,
know
it's
it's
not
not
mental health.
normal, but what are you
So how do
saying?
you
What is
tell
it?
you if it's not mental health, then
No, I'm not
I'm
saying.
saying
I'm not saying, brother. I'm saying this kid, not even a kid, or grown ass man, was shanyal about him shit. Let's be honest here. He's 25 years old, right? Yeah, man left his house in Camden. You can see him walking on the street in North London to go Leon Bridge to kill a man 17 times and stand it. My
Wait
brother,
for the
this
feds,
is
yeah.
radicalization. I don't know. That's not normal,
How do
bro.
Allah yeah? I'll give you
that's what I'm
5 examples.
saying. That Khalid said, thank you so much, bro. That is my point. Who do you know that would do that now?
What do you mean?
Listen,
A
there's a
terrorist.
million people that saw ISIS in
The
it.
terrorist, an extremist, an extreme terrorist that does that. That has a warped ideology. Let's be honest. That's
Yes,
what the
there's a
people
million
are doing.
people that share that ideology. How many of them act on it? How many of them actually go do it, bro? There's a million people that listen to those khutbahs, that seen those ISIS contents, that read it, that believe in it, that fully believe in it. But how many of them actually go kill people and do it in the UK, abroad, in Europe? Do you know what I mean? There's a few. And those few people, bro, because they're abnormal. They're not the majority. Do you know what I mean? They're not the norm. When I see those people, I have nothing to, like in common with them. Like I would never. I've seen even if he's any ideology, it will never make me kill someone, bro. It will never make me like waste my life.
You're not willing to die for your ideology, but a lot of people might. So,
exactly.
Thank you.
So,
come on.
But those people that are willing to
killed it.
Those people that are willing to go die for it, they're not normal.
You might not.
Yes.
They're not normal, bruv. Because he just wasted his whole life.
Yeah, but that's in your little
I
world.
think we're going back
But
in
you know what he did?
circle. You know, let's hear what Arman
Yeah,
has to
back
say.
and forth.
His future is gone.
Arman, what's going on, my brother? Talk to me.
What's good, brother? Assalamu alaikum. How you guys doing?
Alaikum assalam, my brother. What's popping?
Look, I'm just gonna say, yeah. Looking at this, the events, the news, the story, it all says premeditated, planned to me. You know, Ninkan, he left his house, like you said, Khalid. He left Camden, 8:45, made all the way to Essex, Leon C. I mean, how many? You know, there are many MPs that are much more local to him, that are
Closer.
Labour and so on.
And
Yeah.
a Pacific timing. How did he know that David Sir was gonna be at that place?
In that event, yeah.
Exactly.
How?
So
Okay. So Shaib, to that, would that okay, but would a mentally ill person have all that time? No, he's gonna pick up a knife and chef 9 people on the middle of the road.
Absolutely not, bro.
You know that I know.
Listen to me, yeah. When I say mental ill, I'm saying mentally ill could be the most smartest guy, bro. He could just like one little thing clicks, yeah, and he could do the maddest thing. Like what I'm trying to say, anyone could be mentally ill, and it's the scale for mental ill is like it's from you're looking at it from a small scale, like he was walking normal. This he looked normal, so he must be normal.
So, bro, what do you think of this then? What do you think made him do it? His mental health?
No, I'm not saying it's ideology, everything. I don't know, but it's not normal. Whatever he did, it's not normal. That's what I'm saying.
I think we can agree on that one.
That's all I'm trying to tell you. Whatever he did, it's nothing to do with
I'm sure we'll find all of this out on the trial once the investigation has been sorted
Man
and
said,
done.
he just killed someone.
Goes to trial.
His life is gone. His whole life is gone.
It just doesn't make any sense at all.
Is that normal? Your whole life, you just waste your whole life, and he knew because it's premeditated.
I
so
don't
he
think
knew
he knew. I don't think he knew. I think he's gonna be one of them guys, man, yeah, and brothers and sisters, that he's gonna wake up, yeah, and he's gonna wake up in himself and fuck. I think he's gonna be one of them kids. Salam alaikum, Sister Maki. Long time. She's in the building. One salam alaikum. But I think I don't know, man. Well, I feel like the community is rushing this mental health card too easy, man. I'm gonna call it how it is, man. I think it's Islamic radicalization, and it's happening, to our community.
Yes, it is. It could be.
And everyone, even Sister Maki, everyone's throwing out this mental. Nah, man, this ain't nothing to do with mental health, man. Wake up and smell the coffee, man.
And you're telling me this guy as well lived a privileged life? He went to private school. Is this what I'm hearing? Like,
this is what I'm hearing. Dad, what is it? Family in politics, up in the game. Do you get where I'm coming from?
They have a nice £2 million home in Camden. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So privileged, like, as well. This is what gets me. Imagine the privileged life this guy has had.
That's what I'm saying. It's not normal.
Like, he grew up in council estates. You get me, bro?
It's not normal.
It's really, and then he does this fuckery. Like, this is what gets to me. You know, that's what pisses me off even more.
That's what makes him not Adi, innit? That's what makes him not Adi.
No thinking of the repercussions, like Khalid said. You know, think about
Somalis
probably going to be targeted.
He thought about the repercussions because he said, "I'm going to Jannah." He said, "I'm going to Jannah." So he thought about the repercussions.
Is that what he's actually said?
If I commit this act, yeah, my reward will be Jannah.
When did he say that?
Because he said he'd go to Jannah when the police came to him. That's why he was like, "Oh, Jannah."
Well, he said that to the officers who arrested him.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, that's the reason why they were like, oh, this is extreme."
That's why they were so easy to call it a terrorist act, and plus,
oh right, right,
whatever, isn't it?
Yeah,
Allah's great.
Yeah.
Allah's great. Yeah, I'm probably saying that ashhad and that. But all I'm saying is, yeah, he thought about the consequences because he thought about going to Jannah afterwards. So it's like he knew what do you know what I mean? And that is not normal.
But you know what the ironic thing is? There he is. He's going to get like right now. He's going to get a whole life tariff. That means he will literally die in jail. And at the end of it, he's not even going to get Jannah.
Yeah, forget Jannah. Who the fuck wants to go to for prison for like the whole life? Like go to London. Ask everyone in London. Like, who do you want to spend the rest of your life in prison? That's what I'm saying. It's not normal. It could be.
I reckon this is what radicalization does. It makes you think you're gonna do something G'd up in it, yeah. No,
that is not normal. That is not normal. So people are radicalized, and and they commit the most heinous crimes. Those people are not mentally like normal. That's what that's my.
Guys, I've
We're
heard
taking
this
away
idiot.
the responsibility from them.
I heard
As
this
if someone
idiot
had
was
the gullible.
No, they
radicalized
are
by.
no, like they're not fully there. Like they're not fully there. But
I heard he was
Assalamualaikum.
radicalized by Amjim Chowdhury.
Alaikum
Walaikum
assalam,
Alaikum
Sister
salam.
Maki.
You're right.
How you doing, sis, man? Talk to me.
I'm alright, alhamdulillah. Wallahi laf ina idin soo galo ma rabin ya. Laakiinse, you know when I saw on the news a few days ago,
Yeah, well,
it's so funny on the news, a Somali guy. You know what I mean? He could have been born in here. My family's in. And for them to say, a Somali, don't you think that's already putting magaranaysa nabar bay cusba ku daadinayaan? You know what I mean?
Come on, Warunta.
No, horta media, yeah. The media waxa weeyaan waa like the aniga ma daawadaba. I've stopped watching news wallahi about maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news because it's full of shit. Wallahi, it's full of shit. Okay? Okay, inaga aan isfahano. You know what I mean? Dad Islaamaan nahay. Yeah? Firia, in the Somali people, we don't believe mental health. Ma aragna ilaa qofka uu darkiisa dhigto. We don't think a crazy people, qof waalan inuu darkiisa gashan yahay. You know what I mean? A leader life. We don't think that. Waxa u malaynayna qof haduu waalan waa inuu dharka dhigto. Waalida sidaa maaha. Waalido, yeah? Waalida inagu ma naqaano. Wallahi waxay taa ma garanayno. Horta bal aan fahanna waalida xanuunka maskaxda. Yeah, Somali people, we don't read, we don't study things. Waxa aragno unba iyo waxa maqalno unba ka hadala. Laakiin maskaxda xanuunkeeda ma naqaano. And until ma garanaysa oo wax barano oo wax akhrino ma fahmayno. Yeah? Adiga Ilaahay inta ka baqdin yaa wiilala wadatiin hadda. Yeah? Maskaxdiina ma ku soo dhacda intaad xabad qaadatid ama mindi qaadatid dad inaad leysi.
If I believed in my ideology and I was willing to die, I might. Yes.
Fiiri, way dhici kartaa. Okay, dadkan waxa lagu sameeyay maskaxdooda la gediyo somaha. Waxba okay. Okay, do you think qofkaas inuu si oo caadi u fakarayo? Inuu si caadi normal u fakarayo maya. He.
But Maki maaha.
Maskaxdiisa caadi walaal ma u shaqaynayso.
Okay, that's one aspect. Taa waan ila fahmay. Anigna waxaan la eegto walaalo. Anigna waxaan la eegto dadka maskaxdiisa waxa lagu afuufiyay. Nin weyn inta leeg walaalo.
Yeah.
Oo nin 17 times 17 jeer midi ka taagay.
Yes.
Waliba maydkii dul taagna. Maydkiina dul taagan yana abtiina.
Yes. Yeah.
oo gurigiisa from Northland ilaa xagaayo train raacay bilaayo wuxuu kala raacay saacada magaalo. For me, it's mental health maaha walaalo.
Okay, you think, you think a normal, yeah? You think a normal human being, or caadi maskaxdiisa ay joogto, takes a knife and stabs another human being 17 times and stands there?
Yes.
Walaalo, there's no way. There is no. Al-Shabaab hatta haano. Al-Shabaab, dadka way qarxiyaan way ka cararaan ama iyagii dadka way qarxiyaan.
You do know that. Wait,
hello,
hold on.
I know the question here. This is the question. Do you think ideological beliefs can drive someone to go commit murder, like a random good person that never done anything, that was a good boy, just because he read some like ISIS content, it can go drive him to go commit murder?
Hell no. There's two things I can become radicalized. By family, two things. You can do voodoo on me, and I'll do whatever you want. Yeah, or يعني محل ده
مسكحة
no هذا بهذا هذا بهذا قلبك you know مسكحة you must be like قفك you could feel a bit down yeah قفك نيتو وحبا كودك you feel down dadku ku ima مسكحة هذا دم ببدليان yeah لكن قف عادي أو أذاك أو مسكحة حتى قال لك I don't care yeah مسكحة شوفه أو يعني اسكو كسر قف عادي مسكحة إنه وح كلام كوشي بكرت so قف كان مسكحة marka wax lagu shabayo there must be something going on in his life, in his mind, where other people could come in and convince this human being to do such a horrible act on another human being.
So
There's
all those
no way,
people,
Wallah.
all those people that went
Uh,
to Syria, all those people that went to Syria to go for jihad, to fight against the Syrian government, to join like ISIS and Al Qaeda,
Yeah.
Al Nusra, and all those terrorist groups, they were mentally ill. Like, or are you saying that like
it could be
like,
two things, Wallah. They have very weak iman. No, they've listen. Had the fear, yeah. Don't you see like teenagers? They go to school every day. Somehow, yeah. Some of them take the wrong bath, but they get these crazy friends. Ilmihi caadi ha boom wala gadinaya. That happens. If that can happen in school, yeah, why can that not happen when you're grown up? What is the difference? I don't understand.
So no, my question is, are you saying like those people that it happened to, those kids or adults, they're not adi? Are you saying they're not normal? They're mentally ill? That's
Well, they were vulnerable. When you're vulnerable, magaranaysa, when something happens, you have to like when something happens to you in your life or something is going wrong. Wallahi, imankan is very weak. Yeah. So what in lagu seejeedi ha way dhici kartaa walaal wayna dhacda. There's no way. This nin buu ahaye Somali. Wallahi Muqdisho. He was gonna blow up people, and one of those people was his mom. Baalkii u qarxi waaye.
So
one of them was his mom. Are you gonna?
So that proves it's not mental ill. If you
listen,
if you see these people, that can fear ya. You know when they catch them.
Well, I don't think you understand.
Okay, what can I say? Okay, let me come back. At that time, okay, it's mentally ill. Why is not a Muslim human being?
No,
not mentally ill. They have Isha.
Tick for tack.
We agree with
my walal Isha. No, not tit for tat. Do you? Okay, that's the truth.
We agree with
why?
Walala.
You tell no, because you don't. Okay, waxay idinku samay ma garanayso waxa faatay ma aha Somali people wallahi you don't believe in mental health dadkiina 50% wallahi dadkeena dad badan oo xanuunsan baa ku jira qofka ilaa uu waasho ama dharkiisa ka cararo wi oo ma aragtay when it's too late ba ma ka cararraa when it's too late hadda waxa la okay then. Okay,
what I'm saying is this.
But why though? Can you? Anyone can answer me, please.
I'll explain it to you.
Why is any adan mental health? And again, we radicalize you. What has?
I'll explain it to you. All right. First of all, we agree with the hypocrisy of the media that they call when a white guy kills a person mental health and not a terrorist act. That's why the guy who killed Joe Cox. The media said it was mental health, but he was later convicted by the judge for terrorism. So we know the hypocrisy of the media. That is number one. Number two is this, you guys do not understand the capacity for evil that is within all of us. Okay, you keep saying mental health. Well, you do know when the Rwandan genocide happened. Husbands, neighbors killed each other and butchered each other in a brutal way. Was that mental health? The entire nation was mentally health? No.
No, that's different. Walala, that's different. You can't compare this to that.
That was a hatred.
No, man. No, that's different. Walala, you can't compare that. That's different.
No. Sorry.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Booming for years.
It's
not, Walala.
Hatred. It is ideological hatred.
No, it's not.
Willing to kill and die for their ideology.
No, Walala, you can bear it now. Apples to bear now. Magaranaysa tufax iyo beer baa leed was ku mid. Labadood waa laba fruit. Yes.
Explain to me why how it's different. Because
I'll tell you why it's different. Somali maxaa ka dhacay? It's the same thing as having Somali. That is delay for no reason. Why?
So is that mental health? Then?
Because they can't. No, because they can't. Because there's a hate between these people.
So why can't this man?
Iran maxaa ku dhacay? Iraq Mareykanka burburiyay yes. Kabacdina maxay sameynayaan? They eating each other up. Wax isku cunayaan iyo thingy. Yeah, they can and they hate.
So
yeah.
This guy can and he hates the West. And he's motivated by his ideology. So why it's the mental health for him?
There's a lot of people who hate the Western magaranaysa or no. They don't do that. They don't do that, walalo.
Yes.
Let me answer your question. I just answer the question that you just asked now. Yeah, the reason why there's a lot of people that have those ideologies that read those ISIS contexts, like whatever, like ISIS literature, the videos, everything. Yeah. of their ideology, and there's people that believe in those ideology. There's a lot of them in Europe, everywhere, yeah, all around the world. But how many of them act upon the ideology? How many of them actually commit the crime? How many of them actually commit the murder? How many of them are actually willing to throw away their whole lives? Do you know what I mean? And the question, the argument there is, the reason why I say is mental health in this case, not every case. The reason why I suggest mental health in this case is because this boy was he was in a private school in the UK, in London, so his background was completely safe. He was in a safe environment where none of that should be, like those ideology. None of that should have been around.
My brother, you keep talking about education.
He's in a Christian
My brother,
country.
you keep talking about education. Well, the head teachers are well educated. Like it's not mental health. They're called predators, bro.
No, listen, you're confusing. What I'm saying is,
it's not confusing because you keep going back to that. He went to a private school. So
that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's right.
Listen to this though. Next one.
I'm comparing.
Wait a minute.
No.
Terrorists from Syria, Iraq, yeah.
5 seconds.
From war countries, Somalia. The UK is a civilized, safe country. There's cameras everywhere. It's not the same.
It don't matter.
You're not. It's not the same, bro. Like UK is safe, bro. There's no compared to Iraq, Syria, Somalia, where there's Al-Shabaab, all these terrorists. People are like, you can literally recruit people to kill other people because killing is normal over there because there's war torn.
So let me ask you this question, Saib.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It matters. The environment matters because this guy was in a private school.
No. Can I say something about the private school?
If I was in Iraq or Syria, yeah, it will not be rocket science that I'll just blow people up and I kill people because I'm in a every day.
I would
normalizes
but voila, let's look at this logic. Okay, the fact that he grew up in a good environment, should that not have protected him from mental illnesses?
Yes.
No.
So everyone in the Western world that's in a normal, good environment is normal.
In a ghetto, if you grew up in a ghetto, in a rough neighborhood,
can I say something?
Mental health.
No, the reason why I say it's mental health, I'm not 100% sure it's mental health. I'm saying the reason why I say it's mental health is because there's a lot of people that read ISIS literature, read ISIS things, read ISIS beliefs, but there's not a lot of people that are willing to throw away their whole lives away, go to prison and everything. Because this guy said he's going to Jannah, so he knew what he was like. He knew the effects of his actions. So this guy was not normal because he was educated. He was not like he was retarded or anything. Do you know what I mean? He was educated. He planned this out. Do you know what I mean? He was well dressed. Everything was normal about him, and he knew that's why I say he's not normal. Because how many people are?
Why can't you call it premeditated murder then? Like this guy was planning this thing. This doesn't sound like a mental health patient to me. He sounds like a terrorist. You're describing a terrorist. He is a terrorist, Kanyar. Let's call it how it is. He made a terrorist act.
والله ساعة سبحان الله أم خالد إنا واحد أفكار كسب بحر ما ركتي يا
والله one question I'll be quiet. This is my only question that I want everyone to answer. How many people that is from his environment are willing to throw away their whole lives away? That's what I want.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that, my brother. All right, good question. Let me answer it. All right, let me answer it first. I'll go first, yeah? What's that girl named, that Asian girl, Shamima, whatever her name was, that was from UK, that went back to, I think it was Syria. My brother, answer me. She not destroyed her life? Exactly. Wait a minute. Was that mental health or not mental health? Because me watching her, my brother, she didn't mention nothing to do with mental health. She said specifically it was ideology. She believed that she was doing the right thing. So come on, bro. Mental health kind of
listen. Do you see
that girl? Have you seen her interviews?
I believe it's mental health. I said in this case, there's other cases where it's not mental health because ideology can lead people to do that, bruv. Come on, bruv. Ideology can lead people to kill other people. We've seen that in the world everywhere. We've seen that in Iraq and Syria and everywhere else. Exactly. What I'm saying is, from this environment, from this background, how many people in the UK right now would throw away their whole lives? And that's all I'm asking. In the UK, like Forget people I went to that private school. People went to regular school. Even the ghettos. Just go to the ghetto in the UK, Harlesden, anywhere, and just ask how many people, like, would you willing to throw away the rest of your life away?
Well, I did not know he went to private school. Yeah? Did you know how many bullying goes on in private schools? Ma ogtiin horta taas?
Abaya, all that is irrelevant.
No. Oh,
No.
wallahi. You think bullying?
It doesn't matter. No.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay, بس
So,
hey, listen, I've got
I feel like you're
no,
making a lot of
Firi.
excuses for Lincoln.
No, Firi,
But
Firi.
Lincoln, he
Walaalo.
travelled but more than an hour and a bit
So
to
he
go to
did,
that spot. He's planned the whole thing out. He specifically targeted Odegas. And then he
It's
did with it.
irrelevant, bro.
And then afterwards, Kulaha, I'm going to Jannah. What the fuck? Come on, Abaya. Come on, you can't.
Firi,
Don't say
I'll come back, guys. Yeah, hold up the panel one at a time. Big up Bashir, Arman, you guys look after the panel. Give me 5 minutes.
Wallahi. Okay.
One
With
mic.
Somali people, Somali haddaan nahay. Yeah?
Haye.
There is no way. Wallahi, ilaa dadkeena ay kala bar dhamaadaan. Yeah? Wali maskaxda ma taqaanin mana waxa leedahay bullying. Yeah? Waxa ay dadka ku samaysaa hadda noloshooda dhan ay dad waaweyn for what happened to them when they were very young. Yeah? Follows them forever and spoils their whole life. Ma garanaysaa? So waxa fahamtay ma haddaad taa fahmaynin mental health aad fahmaynin walaal waxaan kala hadlan ma garanayo.
So what's your point then? Cool. So what's your
Baro
point?
oro wax akhri Firi.
Wait.
Go walaal, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Firi,
Don't tell me, bro. I've done counseling. Listen to this.
You did counseling.
Forget about bullying.
Okay.
No, forget about bullying. Wait a minute. You're talking about bullying. So if that's the case, hypothetically, why is he specifically killed his so-called bullies then? Why is he targeting a parliament that's got nothing to do with it? It don't make sense.
Qof markuu waalan yahay Firi waalidu waxay leedahay different levels. So waxa fahamtay ma again I'm telling you haddaad inaad bari maxaa tiri say that again war wuxuu ninkan fiiriya qofkan gurigiisa kasoo baxlad he planned all the way to go to where Sussex ninkan gooru imaanay miyuu ogaa nothing he knew nothing wuu iska aaday iskama aadin he planned properly because there's no way he could have known ninkan saacadu imaanay waqtigu imaanay you know what I mean
planned. So that plan means there's no such thing as mental health. By the time
you do know crazy people can plan more than we do. Okay, I give up. Wallahi, I give up.
No, I'll help you out.
What happened?
Ahmed,
no, you don't have to help me.
I'll help both of you. Ahmed, yeah. Ahmed, the question is, yeah, Nikas Mantamara, forget that he was arrested, yeah. He's done that, he got away with it, yeah. Nika, like, you met him in it and you seen him, yeah. The guy who done it in the alley, yeah. Would you invite him to your house? Would you treat him like a normal person? Would you be like, oh, Sahib's car and da. You know what he done in that, and he'll tell you, oh, I done this because I did like because I believed in like kafir while I'm going to Jannah. Would you listen after he said that to you, and you know he done? Would you like he hasn't been arrested? He got away with it, and, like, but would you treat him normally, like a normal person?
No,
however, listen to this.
No, I will never. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Of delay, you trust them?
You wouldn't trust him, no.
You know what pisses me?
But it doesn't mean he's ill. It doesn't mean he's ill.
What pisses me off about
I'm not saying he's ill. Listen,
is that this guy?
Well, like it's like Frank. I'm not saying he's ill. He could be adding normal everything. Yeah, I'm saying it out. You know when ideology drives you to make you lose your life. Yeah. Wow. Marcus, the normal kiwat after. Your level went up, like you leveled up to the wali level, innit? Because that's the only way you could commit those actions, because you're throwing away your whole life. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not like the consequences of his actions. Like he's not 10, 9, like he doesn't know, that this is a 25-year-old. He planned, he knew, he bought the weapon, he's done it 17 times, he stabbed it, he wanted to make sure he was dead. He'd done it 17 times. So I'm saying, ideologically, he could be driven and everything. But once everyone listens to the same ideology, waxaan ISIS qof dad badana wala akhriyay, dad badana beriyaasha wala daawaday, dad badana aaminsan. Yeah, even to me, at one point I was almost there thinking, yeah, fuck all these Kafirs. But obviously, I'm talking when I was 11 or 12. Yeah.
That's the reason you're excusing him, fam.
But listen, I was like, but I didn't say
Oh
I'm gonna
no,
kill
no,
people.
walaal,
I
sax
said
ha
fuck the
dhihin,
Kafirs.
man. That's not nice.
But I said fuck the Kafirs.
Man, don't say that.
Kafir.
Gosh.
See, I was like, I was anti-Kafir, innit? I had Kafir. But anyways, yeah. All I'm saying is, ideology, yeah. Once it drives you, once those actions,
Maha,
that's the only way you can do it.
Maha walala, it can't be that bad. How many people kill each other in UK? Forget about what like in UK, bro. It could be anything. It could be gang related. It could be drug related. It don't mean they're mentally ill. It means that in their own little world, they believe this is the only way out. Meaning, it doesn't mean they're ill. Walalo. It does not mean they're mentally ill. It don't mean that they need to be described with medication or Maya. It's
Okay.
whatever they believe.
Yeah, Halay had please.
Really, one thing I want to say is,
No, who was talking? Who was talking, Walala? Please tell me who was talking.
Me,
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Okay. Ahmed, can I ask you something, Walala?
Go ahead, here.
Have you got brothers?
Yeah.
Ilahi kuma keenaya. Ilahi kuma keen. Wiilka waa wiil Somali.
Yeah.
Guryaheena, you know, hooyayaasha abay isay nagu koriyaan. Yeah, most Somali people. No. Walala, okay, wait, I'm not talking to you. Okay, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other guy. Walala. Hooyooyinka abasay inagu soo koriyaan waa ogtihiin. Yeah, diinta si noo baraan waa ogtihiin. Yeah. way idinku dhici kartaa kulligiina idinku dhici kartaa walaalihiina ku dhici kartaa waad inta iska baxaan qof bari inay dilaan yeah hadduu ninka walaalka ah halla isagoo noloshiisa aad leedahay okay he went to private school he went to this he went to that he's only 22 he's got a whole life ahead of him blah 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 imagine walaalka hadduu aan iska dhaqaa qof iska dili lahaa maxaa oran lahayd markaa walaalkay ma waalan yahay mise walaalkay dad kala jiita maskaxda laga jiita maxaa oran lahayd walaalo okay anyone except Ahmed dan
maskaxda laga jiitay
maskaxdii laga jiida karo ma waalid markaa is that in a way vulnerable maskaxdaada okay maaha see lagu jiida karaa adiga see lagu jiida karaa maskaxdaada adoo nool oo caadiga jooga Oh, there's nothing wrong with you mentally. There's nothing wrong with your life. noloshaadu waa smooth weeyaan shaqaysata wax kasta haysata qof aan ku dhaho kaalay waxaan samee hell to the no qof maskaxda cadda waxa sameynaya maan
listen to you
it means I'm gullible
listen to me
no you're gullible because you're saying it's okay they can do that they can be radicalized just like that so you being very gullible ani gullible ma wax kale ma dhici karto
they can sorry well they actually can that's what I'm trying to tell you. They actually people the way like when you actually believe like this person is a kafir, that this person is the worst person, that if you actually kill him, that you're going to Jannah.
Yeah, they'll do it.
They'll do it, bro.
So you will do that. What hum ay sadaqta ku dhahdo qofka dariskaaga waa kafir waa gaal waa kun jina tagta dil waa dilaysa.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, I was.
Malcolm, some people would. We're not going to say we would, but some people are. Some people have.
So why does that happen to them? Why doesn't that happen to us? Do you wonder? There must be something. For something to happen, there must be something else going on, Mesha. Waxba jira. Waxdaas jira wax ma dhacaan.
Well, you know when people fight for their country. Well, you know when people fight for their country.
There must be a cause.
You know when people fight for their country, you know when the soldiers like Somali 1977, even or today, like the last 30 years, the wars that's been going in Somalia, like people have been dying, and people that are related to me have been part of that like been.
We know what I'm
Hawi in it, so I have relatives that died in the wars and that, and like the people that actually come to like family houses and they're like, oh. The guy come join the war, come join the fighting, and people would basically throw away their whole lives to go fight in a war. And you would hear people, you would hear like, oh, last week. Do you know what I mean? Like you would hear people dying, and people will still go and join the war. People will still fight. and they knew like the chances of them surviving was minimal. Like it wasn't that high. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are dying every day, and like in those when it was high in it, you know, when the wars was kicking up, like thousands were dying. But basically, my point is,
they were fighting for the right cause in their own little world. That's all it was, man.
Listen. It doesn't matter whether it's right or he believed it was right. What if Ali believed that was the right cause? That was his right cause, killing that MP. But he didn't just kill a random person. He killed the MP. He killed the MP he killed in his eyes he killed the leader.
Top guy. Yeah, top guy.
No, listen. Well, you have to look at it from both sides.
This is what we're going to say. We're giving both sides.
You have to look at it from both sides, innit? I'm looking at it from both sides. I'm looking at it from the mental health side, yeah, and I'm looking at it from the ideological side. I'm not picking both. Like I'm not picking and choosing because it could be mentally health. I don't know. Innit? I'm not Allah. Allah knows, innit? It could be mentally health because like off private school, there's not many people that just do that, innit? And there's a lot of them that read ISIS literature. There's not many of them that do that. Or it could be purely ideological. He could be purely thinking, wallahi wa nadila kafir kan. Do you know what I mean? Purely ideological or qabsatay their belief ka. And he done it.
Wallahi, isaga in la waraysto way. You know what I mean? Isaga baa
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be both ways.
Yeah, iska hadlayna.
So it could be what Ahmed was saying, like, or it could be what you're saying, the mental health or the other way. Do you know what I mean? But for me, in my eyes, it's more leaning towards the mental health, just because there's not a lot of people that would throw away their whole lives in the privileged life in the UK.
Intuu gaal dilo.
He had a
Intuu gaal dilo, gaalka gacanta u galaya. Gaal aan waxba ku samaynina wuu dilay. You know, there's so many things. Subhanallah.
Listen, yeah, I would understand it more if Ahmed, you know, that from the ideological side, yeah, saying, oh, it was ideological reasons. If he was very poor, do you know what I mean? If he didn't have much, if he came from this, but once you have a very, very precious life, like a good life, most people don't want to throw that away. Most people.
I'll give you another example. No, cool. The person don't want to throw that life away. Like there's actually people.
Would you throw away?
No. But I'm giving an example. No, I'm giving an example. There's people that got shops and everything and own businesses while in UK or and they know fully well the consequences. So they know they're fucked, they go in jail, they're losing everything. But they still do it.
Don't include sexual. That's sexual, isn't it?
What about
it's a different example.
No, but can I say something?
That's a different topic, bro.
One second.
What do you mean?
What about when Brother Bashir was saying, yeah, you know, ISIS and all these other guys, there's engineers, there's professors going out there. We can't forget that.
ISIS here is a money making machine, innit? But
there's people that educate. So it doesn't matter if you educate, bro. This kid had a plan in his head, and I don't know about you, and Maki are both stuck at this mental health thing, yeah. I'm saying this kid got radicalized. He felt socially awkward. He felt he needed something to belong to. He saw something that resonated to him, that he felt like this kind of resonates to what I believe in. And then he executed.
Khalid though, walaalo, what you isku dardartay waxaad tiri socially awkward. So again, I'm gonna say again, I need to go. Like he said, for something to happen, walaalo, there's always a cause. Waxbaa dhacay, waxbaa jiro. Waxa inta la soo helaya ma aragtay. Yeah? Hey ho, wuu dilay. Ma aragtay labadooda maanta waxa oo dhibaatada haysato waa wiilkan hadda nool. You know what I mean? Ilaahay u sakhir wax kale oo nidhaahno ma aragtay. Ana kale waxay kale iraan ma garanay. But I don't believe ma garanaysa. Wiilkaas.
He didn't even try to escape, bro. Like he committed the murder. He didn't even try to escape, man. Like he didn't think, let me get away. He didn't think, let me. Like he didn't plan the
escape. You know, they are proud of that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know that if he made this escape plan here, I would have leaned to more the side of ideological.
Name a terrorist that tried to escape after.
So he was to commit another murder.
Terrorists don't escape. Terrorists go out or get taken out, bro. They don't escape. They're not about escaping.
No, he just gave up.
No, the real ones do escape. You don't see them. But you don't really see them. Waxa arkaysi waa masaakiinta. Waa masaakiinta, man. Dowlad ma hataa shabaabka waaweyn wax qarxinaya. Do you see them? Ma ku yar masaakiinta la soo diro.
No, but wala shaqaale leeyihiin.
You're talking about the leadership. We're talking about these guys, the ones that are committing the act itself. They don't
waa
escape.
masaakiin man waa masaakiin weeya haddii lagu arkay masaakiin haba tahay waa adig
They're murderers.
masaakiin ha tahay fiiri when I say masaakiin when I say fahan fiiri Soomaaliga fahan there's different masaakiins when I say masaakiin I don't mean a masaakiin qof dilay masaakiin qof ma aha laakiin waa masaakiin because this person is getting used for someone else so that makes you masaakiin.
Yeah, but this guy didn't get
No. It makes you a dumbass.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. qof jilicsan waa masaakiin. Soomaaliga wax si kala loo galgali kara. Oh my gosh. Okay, nacas masaakiin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Macca's got a point on this one.
What's for the mid walaalo?
Okay. Why do you say that, Arman? Tell me why do you say that? No there.
Soomaaliga is hadlaya, no?
No, because I can't understand what she market there. So Somali, different words have, one word could have multiple meanings for certain things. So I can understand what she's saying, where she's coming from.
Yeah. Especially words like masakin.
Okay, brainwashing and radicalization. What's the difference? That's not miskin.
Radicalization is basically it's more when there's someone like for me brainwashing is just you reading the contents, like you yourself reading the content. It's just you and the content, and the information. Whereas radicalization, there's a sheikh involved, there's someone else involved that's guiding you in the ways of the ISIS ways, or the, you know what I mean? That's the difference I draw.
I think
someone asked us a question, innit? Yeah, someone said, do you think the English British community have it? I think they would. I think they do. They have question time when shit like this happens. They actually have meetings. They actually speak about it. What do you mean no?
They wouldn't, man.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
Bring it up.
Are you kidding me? Walaalo. Waxay dhahay waa arkaysi.
It's an MP.
Terrorist. He's terrorist and he's Somali. That's it. Point blank. Waa ku dhamaatay iska seexo.
No. Islam is not and Islam as well.
Of course.
Guys,
yeah.
I just want to welcome Sister WMSS Lejon. Talk to me, sis.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Unless you have a history of this guy being sectioned or mental health evaluation, you can't just jump to him being mentally ill. I don't understand why people are scapegoating mental illness just because they say white guys have a, you know what I'm saying? Like white terrorists have a mental illness.
Oh, listen, yeah. Would you invite that guy? Would you invite that? Would you have a conversation with that guy? Like, if he wasn't arrested, would you treat him as a normal person, or would you be like, this guy's crazy, he could kill me anytime, or this guy, like, you'll be wary of him, you'll be.
But how's that relevant?
Sorry,
how's that relevant?
Guys, let the sisters go on. Answer that question. Shai, do you want to answer that question again?
What? My question is, would you treat him as a normal person when you say, yeah, he's not normal? I mean, when you say he's a normal person, right now, if he wasn't arrested, if he was out, would you treat him as a normal person? That's what I'm saying.
But that apparent.
Well, you can't treat him as a normal person. He's a murderer.
No, I'm saying
now, if before he committed the act.
No, he said he done the murder for ideological reasons. He said, "Oh, African white delay." So I'm saying, would you forget that he's a murderer? I'm saying, would you treat me because he's a murderer? Yeah. Well, would you treat him as a normal person?
What does that question mean? I don't get what you mean.
There could be normal people.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Listen.
What are soldiers? They kill people, right?
Yeah.
Are they not? They're normal, right?
So you're
and they kill people. They go to Iraq. They kill 30 people, 100 people. They come back. They have a wife and kids. They're still normal. Or that's what I'm saying. Would you treat him like that, like a normal person? Yeah. But he kills people.
No.
Or would you say, oh, that's
a soldier. That's his profession. That's his job.
That's his shaqali, yeah.
Yeah. But killing is killing.
Allah. Did you guys compare the soldier to this guy?
He did ask you a normal question. Would you invite this guy to your house?
Go to Iraq and Syria to these guys because they kill civilians, innit? They just kill random civilians. I've seen videos of them.
I don't know what you're saying. Bro, I don't know why you're defending this thing. I feel like you're just arguing for the sake of arguing. That's what I feel like you're doing right now.
But
my
I
brother,
told you in the
soldier,
beginning,
the
I
last thing, I'll
support
take
both
it.
sides. I told you I support both sides of the argument, yeah. But I just don't want you to neglect the mental health side of the argument. I support that ideological side, saying, oh, it was just ideological, like from ideology
You
reasons.
can't
Like,
compare. You can't compare a soldier to this kid, bro.
but forget this. Forget. Okay, that's my political beliefs. That's my belief in it. I
Okay,
don't.
can you let other people on the panel talk now, innit? WM, sister, welcome. You there?
Yeah.
Sis, what's
Yeah,
your
I am.
thoughts
It's
on it?
just cutting out a little bit for me. Okay, my
What's your
thought
thoughts?
is, first of all, like we don't have a lot of the facts, right? And then by the time the Daily Mail and the Sun picked it up and sensationalized it, the first time I heard the story, they just said he was Somali. They didn't release his name, they didn't release his age. So you knew what was up by the time they said that. Somali origin, right? And then
Absolutely.
the next day, I see an article of them showing up to his father's house in Camden, and they took pictures. The Daily Mail picked up on it. So I already see that they're trying to frame this not as a lone wolf attack, but as a terrorist attack. And basically, you know, the Somali community in London and the UK as a whole are going to get blamed for this. 25 years old is not a child. That's a grown person. We don't know their motivations behind it. We don't know this guy's history. And if you look deeper into it, they did a background check of his family. They're saying his father worked for the
And he was
government.
on the prevention list. He was
They're
on the
even
list
finding
already.
out, yeah, he was in prevent. So over here in America, we have something called countering violent extremism. Over there in the UK, it's called prevent. So he was already on their radar. So that was a failure on their part. If he was on their radar, why weren't they watching him? What happened?
I'll tell you why. He was in a prevent program, you know, of the UK, which is a program designed for young kids who are being radicalized, but it's voluntary. But he was not on the MI5 watch list, which meant they did not keep a tab on him and his whereabouts. You're only put on the MI5 watch list if they think you are likely to commit a terrorist act. So the only thing that they had on him was they were afraid that he was being radicalized. They put him in the prevent program, but he left because it's voluntary.
Actually, how today I saw that before I watched the stream. I don't know if you guys seen, but they already have CCTV footage of him going to a convenience store
We've seen that
at a place called Kentish Town. Yeah, and they got the CCTV footage from the convenience store. They're already framing this story. They're saying that he's a medical student. I don't know if that's true. You know,
That's true.
we might find out that
He
he
went to
doesn't
a
have,
private school.
you know, any
It's
education.
all true. Yeah.
Yeah, he went to King's.
No, but what I'm saying, Kay, is they're gonna dig so deep into his history. They're gonna find out who his first grade teacher was. They're gonna find out how his dad. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna dig into everything. They're gonna try and they're gonna try and destroy his whole family.
Have you seen already the newspapers when they said $2 million home, dad was MP, family is very, very affluent. Everyone, whoever knows the family name, surname knows that they're very involved in, you know, Siyasat of Somalia from a lot. So they've already dug that up, and it's like, boy,
Not just that, they found out that his uncle, his father's brother, is an ambassador in the Somali government. Like, how did they already find that out? That's kind of crazy to me.
Because they have his
You know?
name and they have the name of his
apparently
father. So
have you guys heard that there might be a Qatari link? There's something like that coming out in the news lately, the last couple of day or two. Where there's some Qatari link to this story. Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Anything can happen, but what we have to look at, guys, this is why I wanted to take the question as well, and I keep asking this question. A couple of years ago, 2 years ago, 19-year-old sisters on their way to Syria, A-class students, again, top of their grade. You're not coming from brothers and sisters. We have Detsin trying to fly to these places. I've been into social. I've had arguments with some of these. I don't get it. Let's be honest here. A lot of people are trying to cover this up. This is why I've been having a lot of arguments with my community. We got an issue, man. Let's be honest. Like, Canada is starting to creep on Canada. People are flying out from America, Sweden. Some of our kids are actually falling for this type of rhetoric. Let's talk about that side. Yeah, I know you guys want to elaborate on the mental health, but let's talk about radicalization of young Somalis or Somalis in general.
Do you know what it is?
Ideology.
Guys, I
want to start diagnosing that. Go ahead, my bro.
All right. We all went to Duxie here in this country, right? Or in the West, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be honest with you.
Duxi, I'm so ashamed of saying this, but I probably know about 5 or 6 ayats, literally. And this is, by the way, me going to Duxi, this country, from the age of 6 when I arrived here in 97 to like 14, 15. So in that, what's that? That 8-year period, I only came out of Duxi only knowing 6 ayats and just basically knowing the alif ba ta, the alphabet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the regular.
What I'm essentially saying is I basically learned squat from Duxi, Duxi that I was going for 8 years in this country. So obviously, suddenly, kids, they're not really that well versed in Duxi. They're not taught Arabic. You're not taught the meaning of the ayats and the Quran, and you're not taught about the Sirah, anything like that, Prophet. So when you're a teen, you just finished school and so on, you're in college or you're new in university, you start mixing with other Muslims, you go online to these Islamic forums and chat groups, and then suddenly, before you know it, you find yourself going into this dark tunnel of these, you know what I mean, don't you? Going into being exposed to these ISIS, Khawarij, extremist type material, and because you weren't very well taught at Duxi, and you was just sitting, there for a couple of hours every weekend. Suddenly, you look at these guys, they seem like they know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? The way that they recite the Quran is really beautiful, and they really look like they know what they're talking about. In fact, you learn far more from them than you did at Duxi or your parents. So they make an impression on you, and then before you know it, you're hooked. They've got you hooked. And next thing you know, you're
is
on a
it true
plane.
when someone is trying to, take that towards, and everyone says this as well, when everyone's taking them steps towards, trying to change up and sometimes it leads you in a dangerous way as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you go too extreme. Like you're thinking, I need to fix up. I need to make sure that I'm on the correct path. So some people, they get hooked by these guys, because they talk the good talk. Let's be honest. Even the Rasulullah ﷺ said there will be a group. He predicted this Khawarij type group that come in the time of Ali ibn Talib, who said there'll be a group after me that their talk, the way that they talk, the way that they recite the Quran and their salah will be on outwardly appearance far more greater than your average everyday, Muslims. You know what I mean? But what they're saying is not from the heart. It's just, dust or,
I
rubbish.
think it's
like that.
online grooming, honestly. It's just
that's
online
what it
grooming.
is.
These kids, okay. Yeah, literally, especially these younger kids that are coming up that don't know anything, they barely know the Quran, but they want to call people galo, takfir people. They don't even understand the rules of takfir. When you takfir somebody, you take yourself out of the fold of Islam without evidence. They don't understand fiqh, aqidah, none of that. And to be honest with you, they might have memorized the Quran, or finished it, but they don't have any understanding or history of
There you go.
Islam. You know what I'm saying?
That's because of
And
the
when
bad
you're
way that
young,
Duxi
when you're
system
a
is.
teenager, I wouldn't say that. You know what I would also say? I would say you cannot rely on Duxi to help your kids. You need to teach them Islamic knowledge at home as well. I mean, I went to Duxi, but my dad was also teaching me the Quran at home. You know what I'm saying? Telling me the meaning, explaining it to me. My dad also speaks Fusha Arabic, so he understands the Quran. He finished the Quran, right? But if you're just
MashaAllah.
going to Duxi and you're paying the money and then you go home and you don't know what's going on, you start to hate the Duxi because you're like, why am I just going here? I'm not learning anything, right? So that the parents need to encourage their children. They need to learn it too, right? And they need to be aware of what their kids are doing online, because Somalis have a very big presence online. As small as our community is, if you see comments on the internet, Somalis acting a fool. Wallahi billahi.
Clubhouse, everywhere.
Yeah.
Twitter,
Everywhere.
every app, TikTok, everything.
Twitter,
Somebody's acting like
Clubhouse, Snapchat,
Clubhouse,
IG.
you
And the
name it.
pandemic
Somebody's
made
getting
it worse, because when you're isolated in the pandemic, what happens, You start to kind of isolate yourself.
You see, that's the
I
thing.
think
I
that's
think
what
that
kind
online
of
presence that
that makes it
Somalis
worse.
have, it's actually a negative,
So
you see how
It is a
embarrassing some
negative.
Somalis are on
no
Twitter
one has
and stuff.
mentioned Wahhabism.
Huh?
No one has mentioned
Wahhabism.
Wahhabism. Yeah.
I think
Like,
Brother Bashir was mentioning Wahhabism, but these isms as well. We know these isms exist, innit? Yeah, we know what.
that's the ideology, isn't it?
Yeah.
The main ideology that the terrorists rely on is Wahhabism, and
Absolutely,
that has been
Wahhabism.
spreading in Somalia through these mosques that Saudi Arabia has spreaded the ideology of Wahhabism
The
everywhere.
petrodollar of Saudi Arabia has been promoting, Wahhabism since the 1950s.
They spent like 60 billion. Like
Yes,
I think that's the number I remember, 60 billion. Or
So how
120
Maka, what's the aim then, Maka? How
It's
No,
their
because you have to
ideology.
think
innit?
about it. You have
Their
to think
ideology.
about it, yeah? I'll tell you the truth, you guys here. We've had a different type of. It's Somali the one here, and
Our Islam is
I had a
more
little.
moderate.
The other day I had a big debate about this subject as well. Yeah, a lot of people try to get on my throat, and I've Somali been into doing it to create that. عيال كي نمك عدد عاجنبية دين تكبرتان سيدا من نقطة من كلها هاي والله ليال.
What do you mean? What do you mean that
Asian
Ajnabi?
kale, Pakistan kale, Arab kale,
Yes.
because we have
Yes,
a look. I feel of every because I grew up in multicultural Muslim areas. Not all Muslims are swimming more. Everyone has their little culture sort of differences. Yeah, I don't tell one accent. There's cultures and then certain stories that are out there shocking. I feel like عيال كلمة كتقلر دح قلان. وماذا كلا يكون دح شيران. واحد كلا يكبر تام bro.
Especially in Pakistani too. Yes.
Yeah, man.
What,
Yeah, man,
Khalid? What do you
Yeah, but
mean?
don't you
What do
feel
you
like
mean?
it's
Like
both
be
sides?
friends.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Khalid, be more
No, I just feel
specific.
like
Khalid, be
Yeah,
more
Khalid.
specific.
Salafism,
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What I'm just trying to say.
Because this was not a big thing.
Can we listen to each other, please? Khalid, say that again.
Be more
I'm
specific.
saying
Khalid, be in
عيال
general.
كان. I'm saying عيال كان like there's a couple of masajids in my area.
What,
Yeah.
what he
عيال كدوك سيجار سمشة Somali they could شيران. You
Yeah.
get where I'm coming from, yeah. What's عادي? As soon as I start seeing elements of Somali, I think someone was saying it earlier as well. Yeah. Asian community some of our kids are starting to get warped with Islam and do you get where I'm coming from?
Okay, you mean they go to Pakistani Quran lessons, Makawata? Miss friends, like
it's not
normal
even that.
school friends.
You know when they go into these circles, innit? Yeah, 9 out of 10 of them ashab to the egg.
Yeah.
Majority were ajnabi or detail and obviously everyone has their own type of duckers and struggles. With us here, we'll again Dinta. I know that we've never actually fought over Dinta. There's certain countries like Afghanistan, your Pakistan, your Melahan. Dinta, like, do you understand where I'm coming from, sis? There's certain cultures that's kind of, I don't know
Yeah,
if
I know what
guys
you
don't
mean,
have
but
it in
you
North
know what
America.
I think it is?
In North America,
No,
you guys
I think
don't have
it's
it.
the mosque itself,
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't, because the community of people that we have that are Pakistani are not like that at all. So it's different.
What do you mean they're not like that?
Guys, I don't know what you guys are talking about because you're not being specific.
No,
You're in
guys,
general.
I'll explain
Wait a
what
second.
Khalid
Give me a
is saying,
second.
yeah?
Give me a second.
I'll explain what Khalid has just said. Khalid is saying that if you compare, for example, Afghanistan and Pakistan and Islam in them countries, for the most part was through jihad, right? And fighting against the Kafirs, whether it's the Sikhs or the Hindus and later on the British and then the Mongols. So, right? It was through jihad and so on. Whereas in Somalia and the Horn, Islam wasn't through jihad. It was more peaceful, it was peaceful, civilized.
It was through trade.
Da'wah.
Through trade.
That's what he means.
It was spread through trade. You have to remember that we have coastal city states, and that's how Islam came to us. It was through trade. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? We were not forced. We accepted
So if
it.
you look, so them Asians, Afghans or Pakistanis, their Islam is somewhat more, how do you say it, aggressive, rather than if you look at the Horn in Indonesia and the Swahili coast of Africa, people there are much more chilled, much more calm. The deen there's much more tolerant. You get it?
Let me see if I understood what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, that's wrong, man. Subhanallah.
Are you guys saying?
The aggressive.
I don't think you see it.
They're different. No. They differ.
No.
They do different. They do differ to us. I know.
The way we teach our deen is not as extreme as the Wahhabi version of Islam that is that is in Saudi Arabia and the Pakistanis and amongst the Pakistanis. All right. So when they teach our kids, the deen, they teach a more extreme version of it than us.
Wait,
You
guys.
get it?
I thought I finally understood what you guys were saying, and I think basically this is is this what I think it is. Basically, you know how Saudi the Saudis and the Qatars and the certain Arabs in it, the way they treat their women, they want their women full-time wearing
Nothing to
niqab.
do with women, man. Brother, it's
Is
nothing
are
to
you
do with
talking
women.
about?
Stay on
Are you
track.
talking about the
No,
cultural
he's
ways?
talking about the dhaqankooda, the culturekooda iyo
Not
diinta
dhaqan,
u isticmaalayaan.
maaha walaalo, please caqliga la socdaynaya nala socda. Because
I
af
don't
Somali
understand.
baan
How do you
doonayna
understand if he's
kulaalino.
very
What are you
general,
talking
bro?
about
Don't
then? What is
blame me,
Wahhabi
Khalid.
then? What
Don't blame me.
Wahhabi?
Don't blame
You know
me, bro.
what?
You got
He's talking about
Please, do you know what is Somalida, yeah?
he's trying to
معلش دقيقة
explain to you
no
Wahhabiga, no?
ماكي وكادي ماكي شعيب حتى أنا فهمي واحد ترى ما فهمي واحد عرنا سانيوم. I don't understand the angle
Yeah,
you guys
that's what I
come
said,
from.
bro. I said, is it this? Is it this?
No, it's
What
nothing
I
to do. It's nothing to do with Dumar. Get your head out of
No,
Dumar, yeah.
I'm saying
I'm
No,
saying
no, no.
Dakan.
Oh gosh.
the
It's not
way they
Dakan.
treat their women, or they treat their
For fuck's
like the
sakes,
way
man.
their society is. More because I don't understand what you guys are talking about.
walaalo diinta
Okay,
isa
I
about the
understand what
diinta u
teaching.
Khalid is
isticmaalaan buu ka
saying. Let me
hadlayaa.
explain it.
I'll break it down to you.
Hang
Talk
on,
about the
hang on.
teaching. Go on.
Let me explain it. I'll explain it.
Fish and chips, man.
Wait, I'll explain it. The way Khalid is saying it, he's right.
Oh
The way
gosh.
they practice their deen is very isolationist. Very isolationist, Oh,
So what do you
kuwan waa
mean?
kafir, waa gaalo. Oh, don't mix with them, all of that stuff. Whereas Somalis were not like that in general. The way we practice our deen is not like that, especially when you learn from other Somalis. Like when you have other influences from different cultures who are Muslim, let's be honest, they're more isolationist in their approach to Islam, which is foreign to us. If I'm
So
getting what
when you say
Khalid actually meant.
Yes, exactly. Now do you understand, brother? If you don't
do they
understand, tell
isolate
us
other
again.
people? Like,
Okay, macnaha waxa weeyaan wadanka waa degan tahay laakiin don't act like inaad degan tahay wadanka. That's what isolationist means. You know what I'm
Isku
saying?
wax baa
Like
ka
you
wada
live in the West, but
hadlaysiine.
you don't live in
Can
the
I say
West.
something, walaalo? You're all talking about the same thing.
I think that's generalizing the whole groups of people. I think there's certain groups that are like that, but not all of them.
I don't know.
No. What he's trying to say is the aggressive, a bit more aggressive.
We don't look. There's Islam. هذا يرتيد compare. Look at TV قد واحد داود ضدك egg ولا لا. Yeah, I'm just saying. ولا عيالك اللي مثل تدعى شنبي كل شيلان. Especially sometimes I've noticed it. مساجدين we don't really get these type of problems. But when there's certain areas of ضدك مشكلة even certain stories that كلها تطبع نوع إيمان شرين وحنا لا هذا الشيء. It all comes from one certain community.
But Khalid, we know, that our Mahda, the Shafi'i Mahda, is different than the one that they, the other fiqh of school that they have in Saudi Arabia, which is the Hanbali. So obviously, because of that, difference in fiqh, their version of Islam is more extreme than ours. So we can't deny that, and that's what we're saying. That's why they have Wahhabism there. It's the official school of thought in Saudi Arabia, and they fund a lot of mosques in the Western world, and those mosques have a problem with radicalization amongst their attendees. And it's not just in the UK, even in Holland, the intelligence services keeps an eye on these Salafi mosques and these Wahhabi mosques.
So why don't the UK do nothing about Saudi Arabia then, bro? That's what I don't
Because
understand.
Saudi Arabia has a lot of power. The petrodollar is important, so they're not going to do anything about it. So we are going to suffer from that.
Guys, if you actually even look, Saudi Arabia nowadays is turning its back on Wahhabism. You see now with all these liberalization policies that Mohammed bin Salman is bringing in. Now I've read. No. I think it's really slowly. He doesn't want to
Before anyone says
kick it off
anything
all
about
at one
Saudi
time.
Arabia,
He's going to
always remember,
slowly like push the barrier each time.
Yeah,
You wait and see.
I wanted to just say
I
one
would
thing.
say
One
in about
fact about
20 to
Saudi
30
Arabia.
years,
Yeah.
Saudi
I
Arabia
want
will
to
be
say
a
one fact
vastly
about Saudi
different
Arabia.
country.
Saudi Arabia, under OPEC, the Gulf countries, the Gulf Arab countries around it, under OPEC, they're all under OPEC, and Saudi Arabia is the controls OPEC, is the leader. Under OPEC, they control 50% of the world's energy. They supply 50% of the world's energy. to all
Mm.
countries,
course,
all
Yeah.
global. So
Gas,
when you
yeah.
have
and
when you
also,
control when you literally control 50% of the world's energy, no one can say anything to you. You could do whatever you want.
yes, and that's a very important fact. Not only is the Saudi,
Makes
it's not
sense.
just Saudi Arabia. The
That's
Gulf
why
states themselves.
the Saudi government can kill the journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Turkey. They can kill other people in America. They can kill other, and the CIA will say, "Oh yeah, the Saudis done it," but there will be no sanctions. Nothing will happen to Saudi Arabia because they
Like I'm
control
Muslim,
50%.
weaker away Barbadian, like
Like you need to you need to
the
think
small
about
weaker
it from
countries.
like if you have to, Saudi Arabia is so powerful.
It's not just Saudi Arabia, even the Gulf states themselves, they fund Wahhabism. Even if Saudi Arabia becomes more liberal, are you telling me that the Gulf states, which are outwardly liberal, but they fund Wahhabism throughout the world, in Islamic world especially, and they do it in Somalia itself. So
Of course,
what you have in Somalia is a lot of kids who feel such a loyalty towards these ulamada in Saudi Arabia or in the Gulf state rather than the ulamada in Somalia or the nation as a whole. So it's not just the Saudi Arabia, man. This Wahhabism is a problem.
Spread
Wallahi, I'm
everywhere.
telling you.
Wallahi, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere, bro.
And not,
No, there is Saudi Arabia is the leader. Saudi Arabia sits at the top, bro.
yes, the Gulf will do it as
Saudi
well.
Arabia is it shares sole responsibility because if Saudi Arabia said we're going to stop the spread of Wahhabism, it will be stopped straight away. No Arab country would dare stand up against Saudi Arabia except Iran and Israel in the Middle East. Everyone else will follow Saudi Arabia orders.
But Israel and Saudi are friends right now, but they sleep in the same bed.
But I'm just saying in terms of power, so Israel has nuclear weapons, yeah, but forget that. But Saudi Arabia controls, like, they're very, very powerful. America's they're like they have so closely linked with America. They can literally get American help in any conflict. Like
America's
Yemen.
legally obliged to defend and protect Saudi Arabia.
And now American bomb signs in Yemen, American pilots are bombing Yemen. They're fighting Saudi's war.
There you go.
For money,
Yes.
imagine that.
Oh, they would be, innit?
Yeah, like I see they are there.
Exactly.
So
What
basically,
the
the spread of Wahhabism will never stop unless Saudi Arabia decides to stop it. That's not what it is.
Not only that, they use the fact that they control the holy sites of Islam, Mecca and Medina, as a way to silence all the Muslims. You can't say anything about Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, they're going to say, all right, we're going to ban you, nationalities from coming to the Hajj.
Like they've done to Iran.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think needs to happen?
Why
I think all Muslim countries.
Yeah.
I think all Muslim countries
Yeah,
should.
they banned Iran, bro. There's been times and Iran had to fight back for it. Iran had to. What was it? In its history, they like always used it as a negotiation tool as well. To say, obviously, bro, the Iranians obviously always negotiate because it's Islamic pilgrimage, to get their people there, and they always negotiate.
That's a
But I'm
sin.
saying the Saudi, they use it as political leverage against Iran.
That's khalad, fam. That's messed
Do you know
up,
what I mean?
bro. That's sin,
Yeah,
bro. I thought that's for everyone,
that's
man.
the Saudis for you. That's the Saudis for you. What do you expect from them?
If Somalia said fuck the Saudis, the Saudis can straight away say, "Oh, you're not coming to the Hajj."
They did that, they banned Iranians from 1987 to 1999. So
I didn't know that, fam.
Yeah.
Wow.
They even
That's a
tried
sin.
to
I would
ban
never do that, though.
Qataris.
Even to
They
the worst
tried to ban
extent.
They
Qataris
ban
from Umrah.
people from attending Hajj. They do that, man. I told you,
Then
they
what
use
about
it as
them,
a
Bia?
political tool.
Oh,
They
what
control
they?
not only
So
do
it's hard.
this
You have the
extremist
power.
ideology.
No one can say it's Khalid.
You
What
can't
do you
use
mean?
religion as part of your politics tricks, fam. Come on,
Well,
bro.
the Saudis do, bro. The Saudis do. Allah.
Listen,
And also,
you need to open your
Bro,
eyes.
the Saudis
When you
are
have the power,
scum.
you can do whatever you want.
The Saudis are,
Yeah, but
wallahi, utter scum.
They are scams
not if you're the
on
holy
the world.
city, bro. If
The Saudi
holy
kingdom,
place.
is it? But not only
Yeah, that's
that,
messed
they also control the Islamic organizations around the world. Somalia is part of the Muslim. What's it called? The
Arab
Muslim.
world,
The Arab League. The Arab League.
The
Yes.
Arab League,
Yeah, and you have many different Islamic, organizations that are based in Saudi Arabia. So all these countries attend these organizations, and they don't criticize Saudi Arabia. They don't dare to do it. So the only one that can do it is Turkey, because they have a long history with the Ottoman Caliphate, and they don't accept Saudi version of Islam. They deny it.
Yeah.
But no other Muslim nation can do it.
Guys, you do know that a lot of our sheikhs, they go to Saudi Arabia to get their education. They go to the university. So Saudi Arabia has a lot of political leverage on all the Muslim countries, like Somalia or Sudan, those countries like that.
Well, don't you find it weird that you see so many sheikhs of our
Went to
ulama
the
who
university.
dress and? But brother,
Do you know
don't
what I
you
mean?
find it weird? Don't you find it weird when you see so many of our ulama dress and talk like Saudi ulamas and sheikhs, even though we have long history of Islamic study?
It pisses me off.
Yeah, you see it
because they're very dangerous. You know, they're very, very dangerous. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Also, you guys are missing the aspect. You guys are missing also the aspect that how resource rich Somalia is and how much oil there is in Somalia. And this would be a threat to, the Saudis and the Emiratis and the Qataris and all the other Gulf states.
And the Gulf states,
because that would devalue there.
It's not a
That would
threat.
devalue their
It's an
stocks, isn't it?
interest. It's an interest. They're happy there's oil there. Then that means because Somalia is right next to them, innit? So they can easily control it.
Exactly. So if Somalia starts
But
extracting all that oil,
it becomes a competition.
Competition, yeah. But do you think Somalia holds that large amount of oil, though, like the Arab countries?
What do you mean, bro? There's oil in the whole coastline.
Yeah.
Well, of course, there's there, but what large like Arab talk?
Yeah,
but that's a conversation for
more than
another
Iraq.
time, you know.
Like
That's
as it's the same as Iraq, basically, or more.
I like that should be a whole subject. I think that should be a whole
And
stream
listen,
for itself.
there's
The
only been
Somali
like
oil.
there's only been three
Yeah.
sites that have been touched. There's only been three
especially
sites that have been
since with the case with Kenya the other day, definitely another stream we should do again.
Big up, my brother. Assalamu alaikum. Hard talk.
Yes, family. Sorry, man.
How you doing?
You say, my brothers.
Alhamdulillah, my brother. We're good to you. This is the brother early in the stream that played that video. That spoke very, 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 very powerful. Let me see if I got it up there, man.
Yeah, man. I missed a bit what you guys were talking about. Can you catch me up on a little bit? Or not? Yo. Yeah, can you hear me, Carl?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So yeah, I was just listening to what you guys were saying. Obviously, there's a lot going on, man. SubhanAllah.
Yeah, just talking about Wahhabism, innit? Earlier now. Saudi Arabia, basically.
Yo, hard talk.
Yeah, my brother.
Do you want to elaborate or should we watch it? Let's bust the video one more time, yeah, for anyone that missed it.
Yeah, go on, brother.
Yeah, one more time for the masses.
Love Baji.
Yeah. I will pick out a couple of points that you spoke about. And then boom, because you touched on some powerful points on this video
Yeah,
still.
hit some points on it, yeah.
Boy, Hard Talk TV. Just a quick catch up. I know you guys have been watching the news recently regarding Conservative MP Sir David, who passed away. Obviously, condolences to his family. Apparently, he got killed by a male, 25 years old, by the name of Ali, coming from the Somali community. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching it, I was like, oh mate, not another madness going off. And reading it, I was thinking, I hope it's not a Somali person, but you know what? It happens to be a Somali person. You know what I mean? It just happened to be a Somali person. There just happens to be people with mental health issues. I don't know what his background is, but things happen in the world. People got issues. But what really got to me was reading the newspaper. First thing they put down, young Somali man killed a Conservative MP. And I think that's bang out of order. Like, when Somali people do honourable things in this community, they will never put Somali on it. They'll put British, label British on it. Young man was born here, I believe, British citizen, homebred terrorist, if you want to call it, because from what I can see, that's what they pulled it as, extremist terrorist. But honestly, condolences to the man's family who passed away. For for someone to be killed outside the church or things like that. I don't condone that. I don't condone any killing. But for you to be killing someone in a holy place is disrespectful. So yeah. I just wanted to echo what's been going on. Obviously, the Somali community, we've been getting a lot of slack in the media from when I was growing up as a kid. So I just don't want to see young kids in school now just getting told, oh, this is what's happening. What's happening with the Somali community, this and that and that. So I was down the shop around the corner from mine, and like an Asian shopkeeper, and he's like, yes, brother, watch out, you know. I watch the news. I'm like, mate, what do you mean watch out? Like, how many things come up about people being pedophiles and grooming young kids from the Asian community? Do I tell you, man, to watch out? So what? One conservative MP got killed. You're telling me to watch out? Come on, let's get things right. You know, if you're doing it for the sake of God, then you're like, you know what, just be careful. But I don't think he was doing it for that. He's just trying to be cheeky. You know, like that. Like, I clocked it. I clocked what it was. But yeah, there's been a lot of Somali people who have brand like success, and I'm really proud of like Mo Farah, for example. He went to Brazil. He went to UK. That the Olympics 2012. That track, you lot would not have partied if it weren't for Mo Farah, bro. There was nothing else going on there apart from the girl that was doing all the other sports. No one else done nothing on the track. You get me? That big stadium that got built. So let's be real. Let's be honest with each other. You know what I mean? Like likes of Ragay Omar, Young Chunks on TV. Look what he's doing for the community. Big up. So yeah, man, that's what I wanted to say. Like, stop trying to hot us up like that. You know, like that. It don't work like that. Oh yeah, and I read something about Boris Johnson, like his missus, his wife. She's banged that Somali girl. I don't know what's her name. I think her name is Nimmo. She's been sleeping in 10 Downing Street during lockdown. Somaliland girl, yeah? They're not going around saying, oh, Somali girl sleeping in 10 Downing Street during lockdown. Boris has broke their lockdown rules. Nah, they put her name on there, yeah? They could have clearly put that young man's name on there, yeah? We don't condone that. No one from the community condones that. Bang out of order. Obviously, there's extremists or some madman's harvested in the community, but what can we do about that? You understand? One other point. While I was reading the article, the first thing was, I hope he's not Somali. And the second thing is, they watched them say, he's known to the terrorism or extremism team. Every single radical madman is known to them. It's like they got their number. Like, they're quick to tap drug dealers' phones and whatnot, but they can't tap these terrorists and pedophiles. Come on, mate. Huh? They know these people, yeah, and they're not doing nothing about it. And we are the ones that have to face it, yeah. The people that go to work every day, trying to make a living, paying their tax, going about their day, but got Somali written on there. Every single newspaper, like, you wake up in the morning thinking, nah, that's bang out of order, man. You know, let's just all be strong. Everyone's been through the pandemic. You get me? I don't like this, what they're doing to us. Scapegoating the Somali community. It's not happening. Bang out of order. And you know what? Everyone knows the Somali. Proper people. You know what I'm saying? Everyone that meets you, they're like, yeah, you know what? Somali people, they got good hearts, you know. Don't try to take advantage of us because we're not in these media press or whatever to release, or we're like very underrepresented when it comes to like MPs, any position. But we're stepping up. We're getting there. We've got people coming up in the community. You understand? So yeah. That was my message anyway, guys, man. I hope you guys have a good weekend. You understand? Enjoy your Sunday. Bless.
Come on.
Well done, bro.
Big.
Nicely said.
Come on. Well articulate. I love that. That's why even in the beginning, I didn't know how to start the stream. I started with his video. I said, yeah, that video had to get a playback. The links in the chat is going to be in the comment section. Yes. Brother Hard Talk.
Yeah, man.
Elaborate more, man. What do you think more of the story that's come out with this brother as well?
Has his face come out yet, the young man?
His face has come out.
I see his face. Put his face up. I don't even know what his face is like.
His face is kind of...
Is his face up there, yeah?
Yeah, his face is up there, man. His face is all over the place.
I'm surprised.
25-year-old, what are you saying?
Yeah,
Student, 25, coming from a good affluent family. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
for a man
man.
to stab someone for 17 times, jump on a train from Camden all the way down there.
That was assassination, you know.
That's what it is. So let's look at it, man. Can we have a really honest conversation about radicalization in our community?
Yeah, no, of course.
I don't know what it is. I don't want to, because everyone keeps screaming like this mental health thing, but to me, this is premeditated murder. To me, I'm looking at other angles as well, because we have a lot of kids actually warped in our community that actually are getting sucked into this. So I wanna talk about preventing anything that we don't see young Somali men or women actually ever do shit like this again.
I think it happens a lot in jail as well. You know, people don't talk about it as much in jail.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of brothers come out and they get radicalized and whatnot. But yeah, with that brother, well, it was confusing. Obviously, I heard his dad lives up in one of them posh areas. Apparently, is that true?
Yeah, his dad's rich apparently.
Yeah, man.
Not rich, but he's got money. He's not.
He probably went to private school, KD.
He did.
Yeah.
But they own a £2 million house.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Is that his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, their house is worth £2 million.
Beast Nawaka. Man.
I don't know, man. He looks just like an innocent little brother, though. Still,
Yeah.
It's like one of the mandem.
I heard he's sad. Is it true?
Huh?
I heard he's sad.
I don't know what it is, man.
Well, let's not make this about Kabir.
Let's not make it about
sad, bro.
I don't know. Make
It's irrelevant to this conversation. All right, it's
a
irrelevant.
Somali brother, man. We don't mention them type of things, man. In a Somalia, he's just like one of our innit?
Yeah, of course.
Bro, I don't mean anything by it, but I'm sad as well, bro. What do you mean?
Right, allow it, but you don't need to do
I
that.
don't think I'm
sad as well. I don't mean anything by it. Well, I don't mean anything by it. You guys don't need to get defensive, bro.
It's not like getting defensive. It's just there's no need to mention that. But that's the brother's face. But
no, it's just information, isn't it? It's just that's what I heard. I'm just confirming it.
Do you know what's you man? You know what's gonna make no difference, bro.
I don't believe it. I'm just confirming whether you lot heard it as well.
Nah.
Guys, what else gets me is Ninkan, this boy, 25 years old, with Hug and everything. And he goes and fucking murders an old 70-something-year-old man. Like, come on. What the fuck?
That's why. That's why.
Cowardly is that? The kind of like.
That's why I say it's not mental health. Shall I tell you why? We know mental health, man. Yeah, the guy in Leighton. Now that was mental health.
Target. He picked an easy target, bro.
But what made him pick that target? This is the thing. What made him pick that specific?
I'm thinking maybe the MP had that MP particularly. Maybe he had low security. Out of London. MPs out of London. In these small little towns. Don't really have major.
That female MP got killed in the same way, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you guys here. The thing I can't picture in my head here is, when people have, like, if you ever been in a fight, like once you're fighting and you would realize, it has to stop now. You've hurt the person's hurt you. You know what I mean? Someone has gotten hurt, so it stops, innit? It naturally stops. Yeah, like normally. This guy, he stabbed him 17 times, bro. He didn't just stab him once. I stabbed him once. He's gonna die. That's enough. Can you just imagine? How am I gonna get?
They were 70 years old, though, Lina. This is the mad thing.
No, can you imagine where that anger comes from? That anger, that motivation, that determination. Just keep on doing it. All the way up to 17, bro.
Carl, you hearing that?
Yeah, but what does that matter, man? That
doesn't really matter. I heard he lobbies for Israel. That's probably what
17 times, bro.
No, not that. Not what you said, Shaib. What Hard Talk is saying. I'm hearing what you're saying, Shaib. I understand. I fully feel. But Shaib, Hard Talk with again here. Yeah, my man, he was lobbying for Yehuda. But who cares? But I don't give you no right to do that, bro. It doesn't matter what he's lobbying for.
I think that was his reason. The reason why he done it, probably, innit? I don't know.
Well, where does it come from, bro? That anger, that determination. 17 times.
We don't know, but all I know is that mental health.
Yeah, but what could you have?
Okay, well, listen to me, yeah. Allah organ it, yeah. Even if it's not mental health, like, if it's, I think, well, God, like, the ideology can drive people to do maddest things, bro. We've seen it before. Ideologies, radicalization, drive people to join terrorist organizations. It happens. It happens from Sweden to
Yeah.
France, Canada to UK.
So I have a question for everybody here. So this happened right now. The Somali killed has committed a terrorist act.
So if it was mental
You
health,
man
and it was
believe,
the other way, innit? Because this
we already
man
had that
just
conversation,
17
man.
times statistically, where does that
Okay,
anger,
wait a minute.
determination,
Let Bash
everything come from?
let Bash
Like,
speak,
it's not
man.
like he was in a
Come on.
war,
Yeah.
but he's in the UK.
All right.
Like,
Okay.
he wasn't in a
wait a
gang.
minute, wait a minute.
He came from a private school.
All right. We already had that conversation, man, and we're going back in circles. But let me ask this question to the audience, to everyone else on stage. So we know now this kid, he committed a terrorist act. He's probably going to go to jail, and they're probably going to get convicted. All right. So do you guys believe, that we'll see in the future more of these terrorist acts being committed by Somalis? Because I'm afraid, that this might not be, an outlier, but this kind of, terrorist act that is committed by a Somali person will happen again.
If they stay away from Saudi Arabia, then we'll be safe. Because they're the one that's spreading what happens.
So, well, no, that's another talk, innit?
But so you guys believe that it will happen again? It's just a matter of time when it will happen.
Hopefully
That another
not, man.
terrorist act will be committed by a Somali in the UK.
I hope it don't, but there's a possibility.
Did I hear about it?
Yeah, of course.
All
You
right.
know.
So if there is a possibility, what do you guys
Yeah.
think might be, a contributing factor to that? What might cause
What's
this
going on in the world?
That's an easy answer, because let's be specific around the Somali community.
I actually don't think something like this will happen again. I doubt it, because think about it, yeah. This would be the first terrorist attack that a Somali's committed in this country, yeah. And how long has this country been suffering from terrorism attacks? Since 2005. So that's 16 years. Yeah. This is the first time that Somalia has committed this. So I doubt it'll happen again. Somalis, we've got a lot of sense, hopefully. A lot of Somalis are into terrorism and so on. What they do is they leave this country and go to either Somalia to join Al-Shabaab or to Turkey and Syria to join ISIS. That's the Somali terrorism manual book, from as far as I'm aware. Yeah.
You know what? That's true. I agree with you, man.
But when it came to the knife crime as a whole, it also started out as an outlier, single cases from here and down there, it did not just become a big thing, overnight. So, but it built up over time to the point now where a lot of these kids, Somali kids, are killing each other with knives. So how do you know
that's gangs, though?
That's gang related.
That's gangs, though. That's different because that involves money and drugs. So that's
It's a different story, bro.
Yeah, it's a difference. It's a culture. That's a culture by itself. Like once you become a gang member, you're expected to stab others. You know what I mean? This is the norm. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? You're selling drugs. If someone tries to steal your drugs, you stab him. If someone doesn't pay you, you stab him. You know what I mean? It's that way. We can't compare that. But what I'm trying to say is this guy came from a private school. This. It's not like he was a former gang member because he would have been arrested before. He wasn't arrested. So he had they didn't have a criminal history. Do you know what I mean? So he's just out there and stabs one person, guy 17 times, bruv. Not even just once or twice or 3 times, 17 times. And I can't.
I know.
If I was to stab someone, if I stab him once or twice, I would probably be like, oh yeah, he's gonna die. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's enough. But my man just kept on doing it. Like, that is.
And also, bros, don't forget this guy's a medical student.
Even if you say ideology, that is not normal.
I said this guy is a medical student, so he knows, that anatomy. So he knows all the juicy parts, So he knows it's not going to take 17
What are you saying? It's like that. Have you watched that thing, Dexter? That old school series.
Yeah.
So Somali
what
modern
I'm saying
Dexter.
is,
I think he enjoyed it. That's why he done it 17 times.
Yeah. He's a psychopath. He enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, I think he got through with it.
God,
He got
dad,
through it.
like, doesn't the arm get tired when he swing 3 times? Like, what? Boom, boom.
Yeah, it was
Mama
a
just
fetish. It was definitely a fetish.
The cases where, you know, like a boyfriend or husband killed his wife and he stabbed her like 60 times. People are just mad like that. That will just stab someone up multiple times. You know?
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, the thing
But
what
that's not
doesn't make
normal.
sense is because the boy doesn't have history for it. Like, I remember, all right, you know how his
He's not a
family
gang
was.
member.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would have expected a gang member to chef man up that times, yeah. But fuck.
Yeah, exactly. You don't expect that from serial killers. Like usually
That's
they have
exactly
innocent
why.
history.
Oh, guys, what if
That's exactly why I don't dismiss the mind like mental health thing. This is exactly why I don't
Yeah,
dismiss
definitely.
it.
Yeah,
If he
yeah.
would have stabbed him once or twice, I would have been like, yeah, this guy's on it, bruv. Like that ideology drove him to do it, bruv. But my man just went like all in, bruv. Done it 17 times, bruv. He must. Where's all that determination, anger coming from, bruv? Like, do you know what I mean? Like he wanted him gone.
It's in the venom.
Yeah, like 17 times, you know. I would have gone tired by 3 or 4. I would have stopped like, oh yeah, the job's done. But man, I was like,
Nah,
no,
bro.
it's not done.
Knife,
Pow, pow, pow,
stabbings
pow.
go quick, all right, and they go quick. And you know, not every stab has to be very deep. You know, it might be also a little cut.
Well, there's stabbings happen in London every day, but it's only once or twice, but maximum. It's rare that it happens more than 10, like 4 times. Like it's multiple people stabbing one person. Yeah, for one person stabbing another person more than like 3 times. It's not commonplace. Because otherwise, everyone would just be dropping dead. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people survive stabbings, bro. They just stab each other once. It's just that when you hit the arteries or lungs or heart, that's when people
Or
die.
even the neck. If you just hit the neck once or twice, it's over.
Yeah, the big veins and arteries when people bleed out and that. What I'm saying is 17 times is like, oh, I want you to go to Akhira now. Like, I want your life to leave now. I want them up to leave now. Like 17 times. That's not. Come on, bro. There's like 10 stabbings that happens in London every day.
So
there's like 8 stabbings that happens in London. They're like not every day, but like there's a stabbing that happens every day, basically.
Brother, you're mistaken. You're comparing a terrorist act to a normal murder. When it comes to terrorism, there is a level of theater involved in it, a level of shows. You know, when you stab somebody, it's not just enough. You have to make it very brutal. You know, remember this teacher who got his head.
You're going with the terrorist narrative.
Hold on.
This guy didn't receive training.
But hold on. Remember the terrorist act in France, where the teacher got beheaded in broad daylight. Why did he do that? If he wanted to kill him, one stab to his neck and cutting open his throat would have been enough to kill him.
Okay,
but
he
beheaded his head. So there was a theater involved to the level of brutality.
Bashir,
that's a ritual, though. I think that's a ritual. They just behead people. They've done that all over.
But Bashir, here's the thing. I don't think this guy was religious at all. He doesn't look like the religious type. I don't think he was religious. I don't think it was even terrorist related or anything like to do with Islam at all. I just think it probably has something to do with race, probably, or maybe you can call religion a race, but it wasn't like Islamically motivated
he
at
was
all.
saying religious stuff when they caught him.
That is wrong.
He was saying religious stuff when they caught him. When the police came, that's why they mentioned all this extremist stuff. So it was religious was definitely involved because my man said he was going to Jannah, and obviously if you believe in Jannah,
yeah.
So what could that be? It's Kafir word another tagay. That's what it means.
But they also found jihadist material on his phone. That's why they were so quick.
So religion was definitely involved.
Yes.
Because if you take the religion out of it,
but guys,
there's nothing left.
Think about this logically, okay? They found jihadist material on his phone, which means he saw a lot of murder by jihadis. You know, he saw the level of brutality that they did it. Maybe he was inspired by that, and that's why he stabbed him 17 times. Could it be that?
Oh, okay, why the hell didn't they stop him? The MI5 them. This is bullshit. This is a setup.
There was no police. There was no police.
No, this is setup. They should have known his internet history and everything. They should have known he was
into
stuff. That's bullshit.
No, they did not know. Look, you're confusing two things, okay? He was in the Prevent program, which is a program meant for people who are at risk of being radicalized. But there's an MI5 watch list for people who are believed that they might commit a terrorist act, and those people are actively watched and monitored. but he was just in the prevent program, so they did not watch him. They did not know he might commit a terrorist act. They thought
I don't care. I'm
Yeah?
calling him a sleeper agent. I don't care. He's a sleeper agent.
No, I don't think that's it. I think he was inspired by the videos that he saw of ISIS and other jihadist groups of them committing terrorist acts, and he wanted to do what they did, you know, and that's why he stabbed them probably 17 times. You know, even though it doesn't make it sense logically speaking. You know, if you wanted to kill him, just that, you could have stabbed him once or twice into his throat, and that would have been it. But the level of brutality involved was definitely something that he was inspired by. I believe that. There's no other explanation that I see that would fit this, level of violence.
Honestly, I didn't even pay attention to this story. I heard it about a couple of days ago, and I didn't even look it up or anything. I just thought, I know where they're gonna spin this. They're gonna try and spin this as a terrorist thing, so like, and blame it on us and everything. So I just thought, I'm not listening to this.
You know what gets me, lads? Yeah, what gets me is that these guys, this boy here, all these other terrorists that commit, terrorist attacks in Europe and all over the West, is they have no foresight and hindsight to think about the repercussions of what they do. You know, here this guy goes, stabs an MP. He doesn't think what debato and problems this will bring to Somalis. You know, on all fronts.
Well, you reckon they're going to target Somali? I don't see why.
No. Obviously, because the law's not going to allow them, racist whites to start attacking Somalis on the street. But it'll make our life somewhat harder. We'll get stared at more in public. Our mothers and sisters wearing hijabs will inevitably get, you know what it is, the looks and the stares, and probably, assaulted and try to get their hijab taken off. Employment opportunities by some Somalis probably go down. Now, if somebody wants to apply for a good job, they look on his name and so on, and he's Somali.
That's probably the worst thing that can happen to us. Yeah.
Didn't these people kill our MP? Nah, don't give him the job. Throw your CV in the bin. This is what I don't get about these guys here. They don't think about the repercussions that we will face in Europe and the West. We are a minority. We're just a couple 100,000. That's it. What's the Somali population in the UK? 250,000? Like
something like that. Yeah.
This is what I just don't understand. Like, the problems with the Vatala is just, oh man, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, it'll make our life harder, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But they probably spy on the Somalis in the UK as well. After the 9/11 attacks, the FBI, started spying on Somalis, on Somali mosques, Somali organizations. There was this FBI, what's it called? An FBI leaker, a whistleblower from the FBI, who revealed saying like, for more than a decade, I've helped destroy Somalis in Minneapolis. Because they start watching and accusing these little kids of being terrorists, and they were being arrested and harassed by the FBI because the FBI, targeted Somalis, specifically Somalis in Minnesota.
Now this could happen now. Well, I'll say in the UK.
I think
this is what I'm getting so annoyed with and angry with if it comes to this guy.
I think the worst thing is, I've been looking into this prevent program, and the whole, quote, the whole quota for being considered a radical is just having a different opinion to that of the liberal doctrine of the West. So if you say, I don't believe in homosexuality, they might say, oh, you're at risk of being radicalized. You have to go to the prevent program. So there is a possibility that they, make it far more harder, to get out of these programs.
But bro, here's what I feel like. I feel like at the end of the day, listen, although we are all British citizens and so on, but we are not natives to this island and to this continent. At the end of the day,
should be considered themselves that.
At the end of the day, we will always be seen as bro. The English, the Adans, don't even like their fellow Europeans from Romania,
they don't like
from
the Polish,
Bulgaria.
yeah.
from Poland, and they're white and they're Christian and they're Europeans. They're from the same continent. So what do you expect them to think of us, who are black, who are Muslim, of their enemy religion that they've been fighting with for 1,000 years and had crusades against and colonial wars against the Ottomans? You know what I mean? So it's totally different. So
This is a good way to say. This is a good wake up call to the Somalis who think that they are Britain. You know, the British. Like, no,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, you're Somali. Accept
So
that.
we
This
need
is
to,
my
also at the
country.
same time, we should be thankful as well. You know, these people.
Yes,
Let's be honest, guys.
absolutely.
They brought us to this country. They educated us. They fed us. They gave us the safety and the the stability of this country
Yeah.
to live here and educate
Watch this.
ourselves.
I got through. Well, you know this topic you
And
lot are
then,
talking about. Watch this. This video dropped for me now. Watch this, you man. Yeah. What's just going on? This is the Somali community, innit? It's already. What you guys think of this?
Somalis in the UK are fearing for their safety, noting hate speech online following the murder of MP David Amess. The only suspect in the killing is 25-year-old Ali Harbi Ali of Somali descent. His father was a government advisor in Mogadishu. Ali is a British citizen. The Muslim Council of Britain is putting together information on safety, as they have noted many threatening posts online. The group has released statements of condolence and support for Amess's family, but the organization's Secretary General, Zahra Mohammed, says Muslims and Somalis in particular could be in danger. Our own social media has been rife with hatred. Information will be distributed through mosques and WhatsApp, where the UK Somali community is particularly active. Reminding them of simple things like making a risk assessment, ensuring CCTV are fully functional, and working with local communities and friends. They are particularly concerned about the safety of those attending Friday prayers. In 2017, 2 mosques in the Finsbury Park area of London were attacked. Devotees were rammed by a van. 1 was killed and 9 were injured. There are more than 100,000 Somalis living in the UK, most of them in London. Kahia Alim is the director of the Council of Somali Organizations. His group represents 200 different institutions, including 40 mosques. He says London members have received death threats and have reported them to the local police. We are preparing material for community safety and personal safety on how to report hate crime. No information on the Scotland Yard investigation has been released. Ali's motives appear unclear at this point. The Muslim Council's Mohammed is calling on all Britons to pull together. Division is what the terrorists want. A true remembrance of Sir David's life would be about coming together and showing we can build a better Britain. ADN TV will continue to report on developments affecting Somalis across the globe.
Yeah, stick to one.
Yeah, very interesting. You know what?
Did anyone see the Twitter? Twitter is true, you know. One of the Twitter family, they're saying that the guy is immigrant, or a refugee. Yeah,
Twitter's mad.
Yeah, but that's Twitter for you, bro.
Yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. And now that they're gonna try and attack us, and what would they basically done? Yeah, and with all this media and all that, it's just giving them fuel for the fire that they already had. We already know they're racist. We already know they hate Muslims and they hate black people altogether anyway. So this is just giving them fuel. They're gonna use this as an excuse as well. Like they're saying, we're gonna attack you because you did this. No, you're gonna attack us because we're black and Muslim. That's why you're gonna really attack us. Let's face it. That's the truth. That's
You know what I'm disappointed with? The Council of Somali Organizations. The guy, what was his name?
You know what, Bash. Remember, I told you. I think I told a lot of people. I met that guy. You know, The day I did a video, you know the guy that sold Badadka Somalia? I met him. That same Somali organization guy, bro.
Yeah.
So I should get on to him. I didn't see him in the video. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but what I'm disappointed with them is number one thing is that the thing that they did well is the fact that they, wrote a letter that was co-signed by more than 30 organizations, or 30 Somali organizations in the UK, condemning this act, and showing condolences to the family of Sir David Amess, but they did not came out and condemn the racist media. Why did they not send media persons to these shows and to these to these newspapers and saying like the racist messaging of the news media is a threat to the lives of Somalis in the UK? Why did they not do that? I don't understand that. They only condemned. Yeah,
the media's always been like that, bro. Though for the last.
But you have to come out and attack them. Why did they not do that? I'm disappointed with that.
They're gonna go
media
hard
have
on
a
you,
lot of connections. Media have a lot of connections with those who run the country.
They're gonna go hard on you,
extremely powerful.
It's gonna have to media, will it? Yeah. I understand where you're coming from, my brother, but you can't do that, bro. Especially in the British media. They will destroy you, wallah.
You guys need to understand the British media is a different beast altogether. Literally, bro. Wallah, they are protected and have connections with the higher ups and the people that run this country.
They have connections
so
to
given the green
Saudis.
light. They're given the green light to, say whatever they
choose
say.
What narrative to push, man?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Choose what narrative
Also,
to push. So
you guys need to understand a bad story will always sell more than
100%.
Bad news sells. Bad news sells. Hate sells. Well, that's what people do.
Like what I could do now, anyways, man. We'll see I think nothing's gonna happen. Wallah. I think after Baki Madugi a year Bursalan, I don't think they really need it now. Cause it's not like we are alone, It wasn't that long ago.
I'm gonna put a flag outside my balcony and saying like Somali pirate or something. I think that should do it.
Allah, hey, good luck.
You think
so?
Wallah, I'm so shitty, wallah.
Bring it.
You're asking for it, fam.
Yeah, win the jacket as well. A jacket like that, Somali pirate written in the back or something like that.
Let me teach you something about the psychology of how the media works, and why they particularly like to sell and and write these type of hateful and pretty negative stories rather than positive stories. And that is some article that I read on some science psychological book, and it goes something like like how throughout human history, like not in our modern world, but like say if you go beyond like 500,000 and all that years ago, how people were hunters and gatherers, right? And every morning they'd be like, okay, we need to go out and hunt, or we need to go out and raid that other village across the valley, and there was that anxiety and all that tension of getting the day's dinner sorted and hunting the the stags in the forest or whatever. So that's translated to our modern world, where when us humans, we wake up and then first thing we do is turn on the news, or we go buy a newspaper, and then we have that anxiety and that tension of, well, what's going on right now in the world, or what's happening around me as I'm prepared to go to work. You understand what I'm saying, you lot? So, which is, it plays a lot part into the human psyche as to why they particularly like to, sell out and focus on these negative stories rather than, say, writing positive and love stories and all the good stuff that's going on in the world.
Guys, so let me
helps
ask
you
you this
guys
question.
understand.
So going
That's
back to
why
that,
the
to the
media.
media.
Yeah, go on, bro.
Going back to the media, So now we know, that they promote this racist messaging, and if this racist messaging fuels hate against Somalis, Are you guys not afraid that it might, lead to more radicalization of young Somalis, because then they'll be more defensive of themselves, and then they'll find more comfort in these ideologies?
They
Well,
don't
that's
care.
the thing.
They don't care.
That's the paradox, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
the fucking
they don't
paradox,
care.
bro.
They don't care.
They don't care at the same time. Yeah, exactly.
More stuff for them to print. Yeah, they don't care, bro. But I'm not gonna attend the man.
Guys,
Really,
you know what? I fear for what's coming in this country, in the UK. Especially
way?
now in the last 10 years of the conservative rule, and with Brexit, Adans are very different today than how they were. I'm sure all you guys know how they were 20 years ago. Adans were much more, I would say, tolerant 20 years ago than today. There's a mad shift that's happened, a crazy mad shift.
When on the fair, when on the end.
They've had enough. They've had enough. Seriously,
of course,
they've had enough.
Like,
growing English nationalism,
Yeah. Think about it. All their major cities now are mostly, if not half, ethnic minority. From Africa and Asia and so on. So they feel like these people are taking over our country. Look at London now. All these areas, yeah. Look at all these areas. Whether it's someone playing something in the background. What the hell was that?
I think it's Khalid. Khalid, what are you playing, bro?
Khalid, turn it down.
I don't think he can hear us. No, see what happens. I'll go ahead. Assalamu alaikum.
Right.
Is that Clubhouse? Khalid.
I think so, yeah.
They gulag me. That's definitely Clubhouse. I don't know why he's playing that.
Clubhouse is fucking cancer. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well, yeah, it's mad. You said that. You talked about that.
I said that. But it's fucking cancer, bro. Clubhouse.
Yeah, you're correct.
No fa'ida. They talk about nothing fa'ida. It's just qasaro. Chatting about total rubbish all day long. Like
you're fucking
You would be surprised. You would be surprised how many hours people can spend talking about nothing and arguing about nothing.
And they don't get tired of it. They'll talk about it every day. The same shit.
No, look at that, man.
It's fucking gets me. But like as I was saying, lads, like Adans have changed a lot nowadays.
I think they have, man. But the thing is, do you think? I hate to say this here. Do you think it's either you conform or you leave these countries? What do you mean in this stuff? If you want all the, these that come while on here, these mad I don't even want to say their names, innit? Where the fuck? But you know them guys there, innit? The polyester
right,
dress.
yeah.
Not the man that wear the Arab dirhams and think the Arabs in it, yeah. See that man there, yeah? Why don't them man just fly out, take you wherever you have all this adult and then just bounce out in it, man? Well, fuck you. I don't know, bro.
That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get. But Khalid, the point you raised, yeah, with Adans and them saying whether you assimilate or you get the fuck out. I would say a bit further. Adans allow us to live in this country and to be this country to service them. So they're okay with us being NHS frontline doctors working in A&E and the wards and being nurses and so on. But if you want to be a consultant in a hospital or the director of a hospital or a high-ranking banker, good luck, mate. Good luck. They'll give you double the jobs.
No, do you think it is? Yeah, I think they give you enough to achieve. Look, if you come into these countries, across Europe, if you
can't complain,
you can't complain. You can't.
These lands belong to them, so obviously they have a right to protect their interest and their privilege.
Yeah,
imagine us three. What then can we had accent? Yeah. And these people, do you think we will have all of this bullshit in an Adan or
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be hypocrite here and sit here and say, no, I will not. So this again, you have to give it to Adans. Like they are very. This is why we have to be somewhat thankful to them and say thank you. Not thank you that way, but you have to, be grateful.
Well, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, look, I left my country as a refugee. People trying to kill me. Left my country as a refugee. The whole place
And
is
these
still
people thought
burning.
win. Yeah,
It's still fucked till now, innit? Yeah.
yeah.
That man has been to school, Dakhtar, you know them ones, whatever, ups and downs. Still, when Habsi come back, still give man the opportunity to change your life, bro. You know that? Melka, who the fuck does that for you?
Yeah, you can't complain, bro.
Come on, man. You can't complain.
Can't
So
complain.
Adans have had enough. You guys have ever heard of
This is why, yeah, Aman, why do you think in a
yeah,
kanal ya bana hai? I'm like, Shani labata, chirabata,
exactly.
Durer
That's what I
kadorun,
was
Dore
talking
de
about.
kuchite,
That's
school
what
when
I'm
I
just
seen
talking about.
Balugusi, Mahabaso Kuwale.
Fucking nuts, man.
Shaitan.
I hope he gets shanked up in jail, man. Hope he fucking dies on the first day. Fuck him, man. Fuck him. Fuck that.
Anigu
He's
waxaa la yaabay
Naarta ilaahay
dadka u hiilinayaba ee kulayna ku waalnaa mayna ka sidan buu ahaa but I don't give a fuck man wuxuu yahay anaku wax lagama
he's not
gelin
crazy.
I don't care
No, how
bro.
do you know what it is? Yeah, when the sisters, that it is, Mako Hablo, the Hijab, Lagas Chacha, you Slama, Makamesha, Lugutilo, Alamuan, let that, like, that's what I say to the people. I come with them rhetoric.
I don't know. Look, I'm assuming this guy, yeah, he has a lot younger brothers and sisters, yeah. Now look, he's put his whole family's life in danger.
Yeah.
He never even thought about that. Like, what a fucking nass. What a fucking nass. You know?
You know, his father came back to the UK to get medical treatment for his heart condition. He came
Imagine
back
that.
from Kenya. Yeah.
Imagine that, fam. What the kid in a guy who delay that cover. You wanna well, you can't complain, fam. UK is lovely, bro. UK is lovely. Like what we need to do,
you
yeah.
know, for that family? Do you know, for that family, wallahi, they need to pack up their bags, sell the house, and they should just leave this country because they've got no future here. I'm dead serious. Luckily,
They're delaying anyways, man.
they're pretty well off. That's why I'm not that sympathetic towards them.
Yep.
They can easily
Their
go to
neighbors
Turkey.
know, you know.
They could go to Turkey or the Emirates or whatever and live their
He's got
lives there.
houses in Kenya. His father owns real estate. His father owns luxurious houses in Kenya.
There you go. So I don't feel sympathy for this family. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry. But this guy, he should have thought about his family.
But
I need a clubhouse
Khalid, are you
get
there?
me, fam.
Yo, Khalid.
I don't think he can hear us, bro. I put him on mute, innit? Can you not put him on mute?
No, he's the mod. Khalid.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been an interesting conversation, bro. But I have to go.
All right, bro.
Yeah,
Bless.
man. We all need to go new. My brother, love.
Khalid, this is me as well, bro. Yeah.
We say amen.
This is me as well, bro. Yeah.
Are you all gone? Yeah. All right. Say night, my brothers and sisters.
Interesting talk, man.
Yeah, come on, man. We're gonna wrap it up, man's got work tomorrow. I was gonna run it for another 10 minutes, but seeing as everyone's leaving, and yeah, man. Like I say, yo, share, like, and subscribe, my brothers and sisters. Well, I know, you know what, I haven't been doing a lot of content, but I've just been bogged down at work. This, that, so yo, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Hello. Hello.
Oh, assalamu alaikum. Hello.
Hello. You're right. Well, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. I was just in the audience listening to you guys for a while.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, and as the topic went on, like, first of all,
go on. Hello. Hello.
and hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ololo. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, my phone was playing up. But anyways, I was saying I was listening. I just heard a lot of like with your conversations and how the things was going, and I was just wondering, like, and I heard a lot of people saying that it was a radical. There was like to do with his mental mindsets and everything. But sometimes does people think that in certain situations when parents are not looking at their kids, like it kind of have as an effect on it as well.
Wallahi, well, yeah, I think, but sometimes, you know what? Yeah, well, Lauren Tom and Waladin, they're doing the best they can.
I
Do you get where I'm
understand,
coming
but
from? And I
yeah,
feel
but
like sometimes as look, one new win or shit. I understand if he was in his teens, if he was a teenager, or I can't understand, but new win or shit. And I keep saying this, والله هنا hate, shouldn't it? Yeah, privilege. Like, like people put money and mal and effort into you, innit? Yeah, ما فهمتي هنا.
yeah.
So for me, it is the kid has to be radicalized because, like I'm saying, قف مرقة والله يوم مركز وكتو سنة هي. He's gonna go and then other way nos تضبط نشيل بمتي كتاك يا ما لا كل شيء. وحس وحق جلسة.
I understand, but at the same time, I'm just saying, like, we're not hard because he's 25, but there's still younger kids that are still getting idolized. But I feel like parents should at least, have a bit of
Yeah.
closer eye on their kids, especially with the social media these days. Like, you see
Mhm.
13, 14-year-olds out here talking
Mhm.
about these topics, which are very scary these days. Like, I've done, like, as a 14-year-old, like, kid, Mercalodi, iPad, phone, all these equipments. I kind of think there should be a parent guidance rules because some of these kids, it doesn't take a day or two to meet someone, has some aid, it takes planning for you to know. Even doing these research took time. I'm just saying, like, as family members, like brothers, sisters, people should know what you're like. If you're just keep close eye on your kids. Like, it doesn't matter what age we're at. This DNA, like right now, there's also you need to look at there's other aspects on these school. So you go to school, you go to any other places, and a lot of the things are like sometimes it's good to be involved in your child's life as much as like because they did say that he called his mom up and said
Oh.
Salam alaikum or something like that, but.
I know, sis, but at the same time, hold on, I hear you. Yeah. But how Waladinta, like, maybe, like, they're not, but you see the Walid, Waladinta, like, one tiger, I'm one of them people, Walid get out one tiger, innit, yeah? It's like, for me, I don't know, sis, I can't blame the Walid, innit?
I'm not blaming any walid. I'm just saying it's like at the same time I'm just saying like they were saying his parents are all this like sometimes affects when you do something it doesn't they kind of look into your background where your parents were at this time and sometimes I just think as a parent you should kind of be a bit more involved in your kids' social life, like do you get it? Not just
He's
education
25.
and deen, do you get it?
The
Yeah, well,
guy's
but he's 25,
25.
but at the same time, it didn't take him a year. It didn't take him months or weeks for him to come up with this. Like often when did it? Like it took a time for him to get. Even if he got realized Hanus or shaky, it took time. I'm saying right now he's 25,
Like,
but next person that does it could be 16, 17. Like
what I'm trying to say is, like, the Somali mentality, his dad's mentality, where his dad's from the older generation of Somalis, like, from his generation, when a man was 13, he was grown. When he hit puberty, he was a grown man. So he's the guy is 25. So what for? Do you know what I mean? No one's gonna get involved in his business and that. So whatever he does is him, innit? He's a 25-year-old. He's a man now. So his parents. What does his parents have to do with it now? If he gets whatever he does, it's ilahi sawu hisab do you know what I mean? The court sawu hisab and it's like the it's his actions. He'll suffer the consequences. We can't blame the parents for this because he's a 25-year-old. He's not like a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Then you
I'm
can
not
blame the
blaming his
parent.
parents. I'm not even blaming.
Well, I'm
I'm just
saying
saying that.
the parent has nothing to do with this. You're a grown 25-year-old. If you need help, you need to seek help. If he was having problems with ideas, whatever, you could go to a mosque, ask for anyone. You could go online. You could go everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, parents have zero basically. The parents are like they have zero influence in a grown man basically.
I hear you. That's what I'm saying, Wallah.
You know what I
After a
mean?
little
Yeah, I
while,
understand, but I'm just saying, like, generally, I'm not even
because
like,
what it
I'm
is,
saying generally, there could be other like 14, 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds getting this. I'm just like saying, generally,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
good.
well, I agree. 13, 14. Makas walid ka wala hadli kara. You know, then we could talk about the parent. Like, where is the parent? What is he doing? He should be aware of the 13-year-old child's life. Like, what's in, like where he's learning, what he's reading, what he's doing. You know what I mean? Where he's at. Then you can like question the parent. But a 25-year-old, it's like what he should be a parent himself by now. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot, like people are normally like a lot of people are parents by that age, but like he's not a kid no more. Yeah. A lot of people have like 8 kids by that age. You know what I mean? A lot if you go to Somali, you'd be surprised, bro.
I said 8 kids at the age of 25.
Bro, I've seen that, bro. What do you mean, bro? Like, but obviously that's the extreme end. But just to prove a point in it, like 25-year-olds not young.
It's not young, but as well, also like if your kid is ill, aren't you supposed to know there's something wrong with it?
He's not a
Literally,
kid.
like, I'm not blaming, but I'm not saying he's a kid. I'm just saying
The
like
guy, he's
for
not a
their
kid.
in their
That's what
eyes,
I'm saying.
whatever age you are, you're still a kid to your parents. I'm not even blaming the parents. Well, I'm not saying. I'm just saying out there. I was just putting a point out there. I'm not blaming his parents or anybody's parents. So I feel like it doesn't have to be on his face.
Yo.
Yeah.
Sorry, a troll try come in.
Okay.
Yeah, what was you
That's
saying?
one I was like, what's
Nah, they try to sneak in, man. They try to sneak in. No, but sis, I hear you. Yeah, but the angles we're coming from is it's just crazy.
But I was thinking about the effects this like say like another Somali person does a terrorist act, it will be peak for the Somali community in London, like or in the UK. Like it's just gonna be a peak for us, bro. Like it's gonna be like, do you know what I mean? It's gonna be targeted discrimination. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? People are being like, oh yeah, Somali. You know how people back in the day, people used to be like, oh yeah, Somali's a pirate. Oh yeah, Somali pirate, Somali pirate. It's gonna be like, oh, Somalian terrorists now. Because normally they don't insinuate terrorism with Somalis. They insinuate it with Arabs, like generally. If you're Arab, like Somalis are mostly black in it, so they don't really like assume or they won't discriminate. It'll be on the like they'll say, oh yeah, they'll treat you as a nigger and it'll be racist in that way, but it won't be. They won't discriminate you like in the sense of oh yeah, there's terrorism and that. Do you know what I mean? But now you're gonna start experiencing more. Like, if it happens again, you're gonna start experiencing more like discrimination. Thinking, oh yeah, this he's that. They're what Somalis are like the Arabs. Like you know what I mean? Like how Arabs like, and if you see them in an Arab person in the airport carrying a bag, you look at them differently compared to a white person or even an African person. Do you know what I mean? Or Somalis would be included into that list. If more people if more people commit these acts like this guy is committed, because when they reported that he was from a Somali heritage, like you know what I mean, I was like, yo, they put emphasis on the heritage, like oh yeah, he's Somali. It wasn't just like oh they didn't just casually state it, they emphasized it.
I hear you, but at the same time, brother, it is what it is.
You know what I mean?
Sister H, what's your thoughts on this, Adogo?
and what point?
What's your thoughts on what's going on? What did you think what this boy got up to?
To be honest, I believe. I don't know. Well, I have been looking into this. I think, subhanallah, like whatever he did, it didn't affect him. It affected the Somali community at the same time. Like, because certain areas people live in, like a lot of people are going to be attacked for no odd reasons. Like it has a effect on like the Somali community at the same time. I feel like, like there's something you can't always just blame it on mental health at the same time, because you don't know what he was, the thoughts in him, why he was getting into this and all this stuff. Especially someone that's a medical student, you're not saying that only he doesn't have like brain cells. He's very clever. So I feel like there's something going on behind him. Also, people do dumb shit. They believe in it. To me, it's just like shocking to beginning with, like how you sit like in your mind sitting at 9 o'clock to plan a whole murder. First of all, is not even normal, but in society, like for you to plan it the 17th time, stab someone. At that point, I'm thinking right? Like there's something going behind this person's head, or generally, like for you to. I understand if you stab someone once or twice, but I feel like it's he planned to stab someone 17 times. There's like, you're not, like, you didn't do this in the intent of, I'm just gonna murder someone. You wanted to like fully harm them, which is not normal. Like especially in Europe, other children, like it's a bit. Why would you go out of your way to do this? Like, what is going on?
That's what we're trying to find out.
You know what was it? Like when you know how he said when after the police came and they caught him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to Jannah. I'm going to Jannah." How is he gonna go to Jannah if the police are like, he's gonna go to prison? Obviously, like he didn't leave the area. It's not like the police are gonna send him to Jannah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he said he's gonna go to Jannah, but how are you gonna go to Jannah? Like you have to die, then you go to Akhira. You know what I mean? Then, but he's still alive. It's not like he killed himself. Do you know what I mean? If he killed himself, then it would have made more sense. Oh yeah, I've done the job. I'm gonna get rewarded with Jannah. I'm gonna kill myself and go to Jannah. But my man just killed him and was just like, I'm just going to Jannah. No, you're not just going to Jannah. You're gonna go to prison for the rest of your life.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? It didn't sound normal.
I didn't. Nah,
Yeah,
for me, it's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is crazy.
He says, I'm going to Jannah. And like the police are there watching him, like that's what they're saying, innit? And like, bruv, what do you mean, bruv? You're handcuffed, you're gonna go to court, you're gonna go to jail for the rest of your life, bruv. This is like you killed a whole MP. It's not like a normal murder case. They're gonna give you like 50 years or more.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bro. So he wasn't normal. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he killed himself, it would have made more sense. Like, he stabbed himself and said, "Oh, I'm going to Jannah." But he just says, "I'm going to." He does the thing. He says, "I'm going to Jannah." That doesn't make sense, bro.
Nah.
Well, Wali,
Yeah, well, Wali, but
it doesn't fit in with the persona of a cold, calculated. You know what I mean? Like, because it was cold and calculated the way he done it. It was he succeeded. You know what I mean? He done the job. Like, it was mission accomplished. You know what I mean? So you can't say he's dumb and that, and he's retarded, or bro. The guy done the job, bro. He set out to do something, and he's done it.
So job done.
Job done, bro. Mission 5 stars.
No, so rude.
He overdone it, bro. He done it. He stabbed him 17 times, bro. You know what I mean? His objectives was what? To kill him. He over succeeded, bro. That's what I'm saying. It's not like he flopped or he got caught on the way. My man was fully on it. He went there. He's acted calm, rational. Probably spoke to a couple of people, said hi and bye to them. How you doing? I just went in there and just done the job. You know what I mean? Because he was probably, I think, acting
Yeah, but
normal.
this is the thing again. What made these young men or young people actually gonna go out and do this?
But the thing is, we have cameras of people giving testimonies of why they joined ISIS. We know why this is. It's the ideology. People that joined ISIS that didn't die, like, are still alive. People that try to do, explosions, like they wore suicide vests, and then the suicide vest stopped working or didn't work, didn't blow up. Afterwards, they've been interviewed, like, oh yeah, why are you doing this? And I'm going to Jannah. As soon as I die, I'm going to Jannah. There'll be no pain. And why are you doing this? Because of this character, this reason. But it's always a religious reason. They use religion to define it, and it's probably that. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is. That's what it's known to be, in it. All these people that joined ISIS, especially that girl that wanted to come back. Remember? And they're like, oh, they're not gonna let her in.
Yeah.
Before they joined ISIS, they were like, the guys that were sending her online radicalization, isn't it? They were.
Yeah.
So, but once she woke up from it, she was like, oh yeah, this is not the way. Do you know what I mean? And then once they she realized this is not what she expected. She wanted to come back, but this guy didn't have enough time to realize that that girl had time in it. She had a year or something. This guy just fully done the murder, and then he probably woke up. It's like, oh shit, I've done the madness. You know what I mean? It could be one of them ones, like, oh, before that he was fully consumed by the idea. Yeah, I have to kill this character. This. You know what I mean? I have to do this. I'm going to Jannah. But once he actually done it, he was like, oh shit, I ruined my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
It's like that girl that wants to come back now. You know what I mean? She said, oh shit, I should have never joined ISIS. UK was the best. She pleaded for it, and then she was pleading.
Yeah, but these dumb kids, yeah, boy, they're threats to society anyway. They should be ousted, shamed, and that's what it is.
Peak, man. So what you're saying? Leave her to stay with ISIS, man? Like,
yeah, she made her bed lie in it. And you lie in your bed. You make decisions as grown-ass adults. When people make decisions, they make decisions in life. That's it.
I won't lie to you.
Have you ever heard that saying? Yeah, you make your bed, you lie in
yeah,
it.
Yeah. 100 times, man.
Oh, that's what it is. So it's like this brother. Right now he's gonna wake up here inside probably Belmarsh probably in the next couple of days. Oh, they're gonna remand him straight away. And that's about it. He has to plead guilty. Like, it's like he's back to rights, get the case over and done with.
Yeah, once he spends 5 years, 10 years, or even less than that in jail, he'll probably be like, oh, I should have never done that. I would have been out there. Do you know what I mean? Because like, what did he get from that? Nothing. He didn't gain anything. There's no support. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he got money. He's still alive. He didn't go to Jannah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he probably realized what he done, but this is an educated guy, you know.
Yes, that the boy KS.
Cardi, what's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm alright, man. I'm just trying to set myself up. Yeah, salam alaikum, brothers. How you doing, guys? Yeah?
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, mashallah, mashallah. Man, I just heard, I heard this news yesterday, man. It was mad. When did it come out? It came out yesterday or the day before.
It happened on Friday, didn't it?
Yeah, at first I didn't know. Right? Then they said the guy was from the Somali community. Then I said, "Oh, bloody hell, man! That's the last thing." Not just Somalis or or as Black Africans or Muslims. We already got a lot of how can I say issues. So it's the last thing we need. Some guy just being associated in our faith
Yeah.
who's committed murder.
Mhm.
So it's mad, man. It's mad. It's like it's crazy. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, it's like subhanallah, man.
And it's just the case doesn't make sense, man. Well-educated 25-year-old brother, family involved in politics, like living it up, good counsel by the Sky Star, and they've done what they gotta do. You know them ones.
Yeah, it's a shock, really. Like you said, this guy's educated. The guy seems like a nutcase, man. You know what I mean? He seems like a nutter. You
He
know,
does.
someone who has all these opportunities given to him, and he ends up doing such an evil thing to another human being who's just trying to do his job to help his own community in Kent or whatever community he represents, and to have this guy come over and take his life like that, it's just disgusting.
It's disgusting, man.
Yeah, it's disgusting. So, and it's a shame because the media, they're trying to associate Islam with this. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean every Somali guy represents Islam. It doesn't mean every Somali guy represents the Somali community. They only represent themselves. So if they do good or wrong, that means they represent themselves. You can't associate that with the community as a whole, especially if they do something that is as crazy as this. You know, and I'm sure you heard about what happened a few years ago with the twin Somali sisters from Manchester who went to Syria.
Yeah.
The same thing. It's like these girls, man, they're brainwashed, and all these
Yeah.
other people.
These young people were like that. They're all fucked.
They get manipulated, bro. Let me tell you something. With me, alhamdulillah, I don't get involved in it. Like when some people try to talk about Islam, when you kind of we talked about this, I think a few weeks ago, when brothers, when they put themselves into different Muslim groups, like what is it called? What
Salafi, whatever this crap is.
I just say I'm a Muslim, bro. I don't know what a Salafi is. Because the Prophet of Islam, he never said he was Salafi. He just says every Muslim's a Muslim.
So do you say Sunni or Shia? Do you say you're Sunni?
No. Yeah, no, what I'm trying to say, there's no Salafi and all that nonsense, man.
What about Sunni? So you do, like,
I don't even care about that. I got no problem with Shia people, man.
So do you, no, do you share the Shia belief that
I don't even care. I don't know nothing about Shia. I don't even think about it. You know?
I would say it's best not to pick a camp when you don't know everything about it. Like,
no, you don't understand. I'm just a Muslim, man. You get some people that try to hate on Shia people,
it's not hatred, it's just disagreement, isn't it? That's all it is.
Yeah, but I don't even care about that. I don't even have time for that.
Yeah,
man.
like
I'm like you as well, KS, man. Like we be boy, lakum dinukum waliyadin, innit?
Absolutely.
Each their own, bro.
Shia said basically the Prophet done they're saying stuff that's they're saying there's major divide between Shia and Sunni, and the major divide is the divide that the Sunnis can't accept. And the Shia.
Let's not go into a religious debate, man. We're not scholars, man. Let's just leave that out, man.
Yeah,
it's just one divide, innit? There's no scholarship about it. It's just one thing. That's it.
I don't know. I'm not even interested in them things myself, like, to tell you the truth. But guys, I was gonna end the stream, man. KSNH, man. You guys need to come earlier, man.